Hey everyone. It's time. It's finally here. It's time. I don't really know how I'm feeling. How are you guys feeling? As I said, it's Griever here. With the final chapter, the last chapter we are ever going to get, regardless of any spin-off series. That doesn't count. Come on, guys. Feel it with me now. There is a lot of emotion to go forward with the final chapter of 7 Deadly Sins. I haven't read it yet. I have not read it. I have no idea what is going to happen. I have made sure not to read the raws or anything like that, and there's a typo in the title. Let me fix that right quick. A great way to start a stream. Isn't that the best way to start when you already messed up the title? So, all right. Man. Let's check the chat really quick, because you guys know I always wait. Usually the One Punch Man ones, they're more on the ball and stuff, but so many people have given up on 7 Deadly Sins. I honestly expect this to get over 100 views eventually, but I don't actually expect this to be even as successful as yesterday's stream. Even though this should be the hype, this should be the ending of 7 Deadly Sins. We should be talking about this, ladies and gentlemen. My Discord should have been going nuts all day, all week in fact, once the raws dropped. So should have Grimm's. YouTube should have been hype. I should have seen a bunch of 7 Deadly Sin videos and streams planned and premieres. I haven't seen a thing. Not a thing. Now granted, coronavirus and stuff like that, taking, oh wait, we're not allowed to say that. All right, cancel that out. But things like that, like the what's going on in the world right now, taking effect and all that stuff. So I understand there's more, but I'm still seeing a bunch of anime stuff pop up. So what's the reason? That being said, we always, unless I get a big number right off the bat, we always wait. And this stream's going to, assuming that this stream goes at least half decently, we are going to take, we're not going to try to end this slowly. This, or we are going to, we're not going to end this quickly is what I meant. Yeah, I'm all over the map today. See, what are you guys feeling right now? Really? Because all I'm doing is looking back. What did I do yesterday? You want to know what I did? I watched 7 Deadly Sins, Season 1 on Netflix. And I got to tell you, that was some damn good shit. Really, it was. It was amazing. That's why this stream is not going to end quickly. There's not going to be a short 1-hour stream where we read through a chapter and go, this was bad, this was crap, this arc sucks, so, give the finger to this series, right? We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. There's got to be some level of appreciation. Because we have stuck through some bad arcs of plenty of manga, and we're all still reading them, and we're all still here. So, you know what? Let's just jump into the chat right quick, make sure that I'm not anything like that, blah, blah, blah. See, I'm not prepared for this today. I'm really not. And I apologize, guys, but I want to do this. I really do. I'll get my mojo. I'll get my mojo. Don't you worry. Once we start, I'll get my mojo. So let's see. King Odin is here. It's been a long time for King Odin to comment or be in a stream. What's up? King Odin's a avid commenter on my 7 Deadly Sins Behind the Bar reviews, and generally speaking, gives nice long paragraph explanations about how wrong I am about something, or sometimes agreeing with me and saying, but you got this little part, big long discussions with King Odin. Says, I will be the first to join. Thank you. You might end up being the only one. I'm starting this quite early for me, and I know a lot of people are busy with other things, so it might just be you and me, old buddy. King Odin also says a lot that is to be discussed, particularly on that cover page. And I think I see a sun. I think I see a sun icon there. So, all right. See, I'm hoping to praise the sun. For those of you who don't know, I was disappointed. Even though we all knew, I brought it up in the chapter review, last chapter, the names of the kids are Tristan and Lancelot. Fine, dandy, whatever. No, you know what? So much has changed. from the original concept with the Arthurian legend. You know, there has been a lot of changes. It's not this isn't the story of King Arthur without a twist. This is King Arthur flipped upside down, and let's completely change the entirety of the story. It's inspired by. It's not direct, let's tell that story. Does that make sense? I had an analogy or a good idea to bring that forth, but I can't think of it right now. I suppose Seven Samurai, the anime, kind of does that. But the concept here would have tugged at our heartstrings so completely had they both looked up at the sun and said Escanor at the same time. Bon and Meliodas, naming their children. That would have been the way to do it. In my opinion, that would have been the way to tug at us and basically gone but not forgotten, and that kind of stuff. For me, it really would have done it. So I don't know what to expect from this chapter. I hope we have some mention of Escanor in this chapter. I'm glad they didn't bring him back. A lot of people wanted to bring him back. Had the series continued into a new arc the way it was shaping up to with Chaos and Lady of the Lake and Kath and all this stuff, I really would have needed Escanor back. I think that everybody who said, let's bring Zeldris back, don't care if it, don't let Zeldris fly off, let's bring him in, and because he's a fan favorite, and bring Escanor back. Pull some Merlin bullshit and bring Escanor back. We don't care how, because at this point, the story had so many retcons and inconsistencies and problems with surrounding basically Merlin completely, is that it wouldn't be the fault of Escanor if he was brought back. And it wouldn't ruin Escanor's death scene, which was really powerful, probably one of the best chapters of all of Taizai. Definitely the best chapter in this arc, completely. But that would have really, we would have needed something to hold on to. But yeah. So we have, I don't want to mess up the first name there, Wilson saying, so this is my Wilson, guys. I'm Dr. Gregory House. Hold on a minute. Wilson! I'm Dr. Gregory House. I need some Vicodin, but instead I have beer, so. Wilson says, yo back. MC Dude is here saying, good whatever time of day. It's 6:07 p.m. Nova Scotia, Canada time. That is what it is. We just had a blizzard. Well, a snowstorm. We had literal chunks of snow about this big around, about the size of a small, about the size of a tennis ball, I would say. Smaller than a baseball, but nearly tennis ball sized. Or at least it seemed that way. Of course, they're much flatter, but they were about that diameter around snowflakes in the morning. It was made for terrible driving. It all turned to slush. But yeah, so we're having a grand old time. All right, so yeah, I already have the chapter pulled up, ladies and gentlemen. Just so we know, I know that the chapter is called "Like That Sky," apparently. And I don't really know what to expect. I'm hoping for a longer chapter, to be honest with you. I really am. Hoping for something that's quite a bit longer. I'm hoping maybe 25 pages. Maybe. A lot of people put a faith in the color. Like color spreads and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy that. Especially when one reads manga. It's all the time, isn't it? It's all the damn time. That's all we have is black and white. So it's nice to get a bit of color once in a while. But I would sacrifice color pages every day of the week to have one more page of a manga chapter. Like that's bar none. So I'm hoping for a longer page count, and I don't really care if the pages are colored or not. If that's the trade-off, that's all I'm saying. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind a colored final chapter. So As you guys know, we always wait about 10 or so minutes when we start a stream, and this one started very haphazard. I have to apologize, ladies and gentlemen. This thing that's going around the world that we're not allowed to talk about, as of course is screwing everybody up financially, and my job is rocky and stuff, and I'm gonna have to go through the paperwork and the crap, and property taxes just got called on. So there's a lot of things that I should be dealing with that I'm not really dealing with, and instead I'm here on YouTube reading manga. So I apologize if I am a little distracted during this stream, but once we do start the chapter, and if we get a good, I'm thinking a good discussion going. I was assuming I'd get about 8 or 10 people in here at some points. So if I can get about that much, and I don't think that's asking much, most of my Discord reads Taizai. So if we can get about that much, I was thinking that potentially, that if it was an option, we might open the floor to everybody who wants to have a post-chapter read discussion on Discord, live here on stream. I might figure out a way to set that up. And we could do that right here live, and that would be part of the stream. So, because I don't expect this chapter to exactly be like a 40-page chapter of One Punch Man, so. As much as I would like it to be, it's high probability that it won't be. MC Dude says, well, thanks for the content. You are welcome, sir. Once again, actually, in all honesty, if it's just because there was a bunch of bills came in, honestly, today, and I wasn't expecting that. Not to rant about that too much, but as I said, I'm the type of person that doesn't really think about past each month, so I kind of forgot the property tax will be due at the end of next month, and that's a big chunk of change. It's not a huge deal if you're working, but I don't know where I'm going to be in a couple weeks. So I just have to pre-plan. And then, of course, the internet provider just upped my bill by $15. Apparently, they upped everybody's bill. But I don't watch the news closely enough. I don't follow every article. I got more stuff to do. So that's basically the thing. I got 2 bills today. One I wasn't expecting, and the other one had a price hike. So where, the income is rocky, it's just been a little distracting. Let's see. We got Wilson. My main man, Wilson. Did you hear about the sequel? We're going to talk about the sequel at the end of the chapter, because I'm assuming there might be some news, potentially, but it might not be translated. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We will talk about the possible Arthur spinoff and or Seven Deadly Sins sequel after I've read the chapter, and we'll see if there was any mention of it. And then we'll go from there. Because right now, all I knew was there was a rumor about an Arthur spinoff, and some things have been debunked, some things are yet to be proven as true or false. I remember it going around for a lot of years. This actually is very reminiscent of the Bleach anime coming back and such, right? There was a lot of rumors surrounding that for years. They looked from the most credible sources for the longest time. It's been 8 years, and we're finally getting it back, but all those credible sources were wrong, right? So, as I said, we will talk about the potential of the series. Apparently, it might feature the 4 Horsemen. For those of you who have been following my channel for a long time, you know very well that I was a big advocate for the idea of Purgatory, Mama Hawk being Chaos, not the Mother of Chaos, but actually, Mother of Chaos being her title. And she was the balancer between good and evil sort of idea. She was the gray area in Purgatory. That's why the Demon King couldn't get out. And maybe she sacrificed her sentience or something in the form of one of her Purgatory animals. This would make so much sense. I was going to make a theory video about this before it was all debunked. But that was my idea, right? I really did believe that if we take that into consideration, you had demon, goddess, and the Purgatory realm. You could have had, you have good and evil, very classic, heaven, hell, right? But then you have that gray area, that balancer. I've made many references to the Darksiders video game series to, prove my point that this could work for a good plot, for good story elements. And Mama Hawk, to help seal the Demon King away, because we don't see the Supreme Deity in Purgatory. Now, that seemed kind of odd, but she never seems to be referenced very much and stuff. So I thought, okay, she was either killed or something else happened. I just thought, okay, Mama Hawk helped out with this to save the balance. The Holy War was going too far, and to assist, with this, without that whole goddess seal thing, that sealed the Demon King. No, it didn't. That's a retcon. But before we got that, it could have been very possible that she sealed, the Balancer God sealed the Demon King in his moment of weakness within her own realm by sacrificing her sentience and her form as a goddess or a god, and then became, one of the creatures that would explain Wild, that would explain Hawk, and why, Hawk calls her Mama and stuff, which makes no sense now that we know the truth. It would all have added up. All the dots would have been connected, and then she would have called forth the Four Horsemen once she remembered who she was, and that would be the next arc. That was my idea for the next arc. So I've heard rumors that the sequel will include Arthur, the Knights of the Round, and or the Round Table, sorry, Final Fantasy VII on the brain, and that kind of thing, right? So, anyways, we're going to get to the chapter here in a sec. Andrew says, thanks for all of the content. I had to be here for the last reaction. Well, thank you very much, Andrew, for showing up. I really appreciate it. And you're welcome for all the content. I'm just doing what I can. So, as I said before, I didn't think this stream would do very well. I'm actually a little disheartened that still only 4 viewers. Like, you'd think that this would be a big deal. And I posted that the stream was going to go, about an hour ago, and I didn't exactly just start it out of the blue. I told everyone in Discord, it'll start in a couple hours. It'll be today, and then it's posted. So I'm a little hurt. Not really. I know the series lost most of its fan base a long time ago, so I'm not surprised. And I'm not that big a YouTuber, so I'm not surprised at the turnout. But that being said, let's jump into this. Chapter 346. The last chapter of Taizai. I'm reading this on 3.read7deadlysins.com. Link to my Discord is in the description. So, Keisham Prime, another YouTuber, go check out his channel. And I've talked to him multiple times. He is a part of my Discord, and he posted the link in my Discord. So it's there in the general chat if you guys don't know where it is and want to follow along. So, let's see. First page. The 7 Deadly Sins, Meandering Blog Extreme. Meandering? I don't... Meandering? I'm either missing the pun or I've never heard of that word before. But okay. Let's assume that this is from some fan, but this or the translator, that this is the real deal. So, it's in color. It's a little comic book strip funny thing, it seems. So, let's read it. Here we have a little baby hawk with a beard looking thing bouncing along, saying, so let's look back on them with a little walk... wait, where am I going? Okay. Right to left. What am I doing? We have Meliodas, Elizabeth, and Hawk. And a little baby-looking hawk that Meliodas seems to be holding. And it says, ever since probably 2014, since my last update, the Meandering blog has been forced to make a miraculous comeback by my editor. All those missed calls going on. Ever since, so 2014, the Meandering blog has been forced... Okay, I must have missed something, or it's not in any of my volumes of translation. I have no idea what this Meandering blog is. Has been forced to make a miraculous comeback by my editor, at least just for this time. Grin. So this is a blog, even though it's a magazine? Looks like it. The 7 Deadly Sins began in 2012. Actually, I was there when it first started because I was reading Bleach and stuff at the time. Surprisingly, though, I actually didn't start getting into 7 Deadly Sins probably until, I'm going to say, 2015. I'm going to say 2015. Maybe it was 2014, but I'm going to say for about 5 years I've been into 7 Deadly Sins. Roughly. Between 4 and 6 years. So, I did not catch the bus right away. I saw the first chapter, and then I just didn't look for the second chapter. So I did read it, actually, when it first came out in 2012, but I didn't follow up. So, there's your facts about me. It's come to its grand finale in this issue. Grand being, I don't know who's clapping there, but I mean, I suppose you could do it like an ironic clap. We are so happy it's ending. But that's only because, Nakaba didn't listen to any of my reviews and all my theories and my ideas. Make Escanor the reincarnation of the first Archangel. Make the Four Horsemen a part of the Purgatory group that Mama Hawk summons to stop the Holy War. Wheelchair Gother knew about this. Do the good shit that you set up, But anyways, these past 8 years have been full of all sorts of events. So let's look back on a few of them down memory lane. One of my earliest memories is how we got to have almost weekly meetings over drinks. Right, editor Y Moto-kun? Okay, so I suppose that's the little pig with the beard is supposed to be Nakaba. Well, at least he doesn't think too highly of himself. The first thing you bring up is alcohol. Okay, 0.2 for Nakaba. Cheers, mate. Yeah. 2 points to Nakaba's charisma for that. Yep. I'm giving him a +2. So says you holding that bottle. Fair. Potato. Okay. Potato wine, or are we making vodka? What are we doing? So we have Bon and Elaine here saying, I'm so happy to have been able to share the 7 Deadly Sins with everyone through the anime show, movie adaptations, video games. The video game wasn't that bad. A lot of people didn't like it. It was mediocre, but I still had fun. If you like 7 Deadly Sins, it's kind of like Jump Force. Jump Force was worse, and that's sad. Because there's way more money and way more characters, way more potential with Jump Force. 7 Deadly Sins, Knights of Britannia was a better video game than Jump Force, for sure. Anime show, movie adaptations. The movie was alright. Yeah. Live performances, never seen any. International magazine interviews and more. I saw a few interviews. We got to hold 8 signing events, including abroad. That's pretty cool. And of course, although this story will be ending, the anime and Grand Cross video... What? And of course, although the story will be ending, the anime and the Grand Cross video game will still continue. I know nothing about this Grand Cross video game. Do they mean a crossover video game? Like they're gonna be a part of like Jump Force 2 or something? Or is there like a game called Grand Cross 7 Deadly Sins? I'm not sure about that. I saw like some things for a mobile game, but if there's another like PS4 or PS5, like if there's a console video game title, I will most likely buy it, play it, review it, platinum it. So that's cool. I had no idea about that. Does anybody else know about that news? I didn't. And if you do know about the articles or whatever, in case I forget, you could post a link for me in my Discord. I would really appreciate it. Because I don't know how links work on here. Even when you turn off safe chat, there's still... I can't have that like in my YouTube chat for some reason. If certain messages just don't go through. Like even when I'm checking it, I can check them post-stream, and then I can see all these messages that didn't go through. But for some reason, I don't have any banned words and stuff. I don't know what's up. So anyways, while yet other projects are still in the works too, it seems. Okay, should I just go ahead and spill the beans? Says Nakaba. The editor says no. I mean, seriously, if there's anything left to 7 Deadly Sins that would help us, maybe the spin-off sequel, maybe that's what they're referencing. You gotta release it now. You gotta tell us now, because this is the only thing that's gonna garner the hype. Or maybe they're going to play the waiting game. They know how bad this arc was, and potentially they're going to wait until next year to make the announcement. When everybody's, level heads, let's have a few drinks, let's have a cool mind when we go into this. Let's not announce it at its lowest point. Let's announce it when basically everybody's forgotten why they disliked it. And I've received so many letters and illustrations of support from fans, both here and abroad. They really make me so happy. There's King Deanne in the shot. I've filled a whopping 4 giant cardboard boxes with all of them. Then there's all the homemade plushies, figurines, paper cutouts, embroidery too, and so much more. Thank you. I actually, back when Taizai was at its highest, I was considering only because of that neck tattoo, not into the neck tattoo. I was considering getting, because I already have one tattoo, but it wouldn't have interfered. I was going to get all the 7 Deadly Sin tattoos. I was going to get them all in red, and I was going to get each one of them as the series progressed. I thought that'd be really cool because I wanted to be basically what Tekken 101 was to Bleach. I wanted to be that guy for 7 Deadly Sins. Didn't really pan out that way with a loss of a channel, but also because 7 Deadly Sins just didn't become Bleach. That's just, it is what it is. The hardest is when I underwent major surgery. I did know about that. I'm hooked up to so many tubes. I will never forget how I was made to. Got up, scratched out, got to complete all the work up to my release from the hospital, all before I was admitted into the hospital. The wicked editor Toshi in the background there. Elizabeth saying, there are many other memories to get to, but due to space limitations, I'll end it here. I'm not going to deny this is nice to know, but I felt like this could have been in an interview, and I know it's just quick and short artwork, but I would have rather... I'll have to see how I feel about the chapter, but I'm feeling like you could have used these 2 pages for something else, Nakaba. Could have used these 2 pages for something else. So, at the very end, there's an announcement that will make you go, what? So please enjoy the very last chapter of the 7 Deadly Sins to the fullest. Okay, so they don't want to spill the beans yet. That's probably the beans they're talking about. It's probably about the sequel series. We'll have to wait and see. Let's check the chat before we get in. I did not know that would be that long when I said, let's start the chapter. I apologize, guys. Let's see what the chat's saying. We have Baku Blade 1 saying, Koden Nasha, that's the publisher or whatever. I never knew how to say it. Released info about the sequel. Fair. MC Dude says, here we go. Who's Nakaba getting back on... Whoa, Nakaba's getting back on the board? I guess so. Wilson says, 7 Deadly Sins needs like a Naruto Storm type game. Fair enough. I've never played the Naruto Storm games. I understand they're probably pretty good as a video game, but since I hate 80% of the Naruto cast and I did not like the manga, there's no reason for me to play them. But I will take your word for it. Andrew, the mobile game. Okay. Andrew said, I've kept getting ads for the Grand Cross mobile game. That's what it is. Okay, see, I'm not into mobile games. I understand they can be good. I understand there's one for every popular anime, and some of them are a lot of fun and addicting and stuff. I went into the Pokemon Go craze for about 3 weeks. That's as far as I go for mobile games. I play Bejeweled on my phone, okay? Wilson says, yeah, 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross is a mobile game that released earlier this month. Yeah, I saw those ads. I just didn't know it was called Grand Cross. Okay. So, thank you for all 4 of you for sticking around through that. Let's actually get, hopefully, into the chapter. We have a beautiful color spread here. And actually, it's really nice. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, clap your hands together and praise that damn sun, because honestly, I can't say I'm upset that he's so far in the distance, because this means more. Putting him front and center, you think initially, you're like, why isn't he front and center like that? But that little hint off in the distance. Okay. If we get nothing else, I hope for something else. But if we get nothing else, there he is. One last time. Praise the sun. There's our boy, Lord Escanor. Oh, man. I regret that I didn't have daily prayers for that, like King of Lightning has for Katakuri. I regret that I didn't have daily prayers for our Son, our Lord, who decided that. the lion's sin himself. I'm actually upset I didn't come up with that. And just blatantly copy King of Lightning. Already, I'm just mystified by that shining beacon. Like, it's a really nice color spread. Like, that would be a really nice poster or something, to hang in a frame. We see the Seven Deadly Sins. You have Bond sitting there with Meliodas. You have Gother looking on. There's Deanne. And it's actually the Seven Deadly Sins. There's no Mama Hawk. There's no Hawk from what I can tell. There's no Elizabeth. It's just the seven. Merlin off in the distance. King looking there in his Elvis form. And you know what I like? There's the sunshine beam down on Escanor, and he's just standing there, like, off on his own pillar. Everyone else is standing on a rock face. He's on his own pillar by himself, standing there like, yeah, I'm here. And I like the fact that Merlin is levitating in the background, and her head, and you can't really tell her eyes, but they're directed clearly towards Escanor. I like that. Even though Merlin's character has really, really, Nakaba decided to, like, grind her up and not just make her a game shark, which I can forgive. I can be like, okay, she's a plot device. Doesn't mean she's a bad character. She's a plot device. Doesn't mean she's not a bad character. And then they tried to make her an Eisen without any reason. But, yeah. Okay, I love that. I love that right away. So, we have final chapter, Like That Sky. Or I'm assuming Like the Sky. I'm not sure. So, next page is a color spread. Or a colored page. And we see a young... I'm assuming this is Tristan. A girl? Are we going to do like a Fate Night thing here where like King Arthur was actually a woman the whole time? Are we going to do like a Tristan is actually a woman? Because I see a little girl. Who else sees a little girl? Like, it's Meliodas' hair and then long, but not done like him in Demon King form or anything like that, where all his hair got properly long. It's like they literally stuck... It's like those bad fan art sort of ideas where they stick like Super Saiyan 3 hair on an image of Gohan or Vegeta with his like Super Saiyan 2 hair. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of looks out of place the way how it's all... Who would cut hair like that? Maybe back in the 70s. I mean, to be fair, this is older, so maybe she started the trend. We see a blue and a brownish green eye, so probably both parents. I suppose it just could be a boy. I mean, there's no real eyelashes or anything. I don't know. Is it a girl? Is it a guy? Are we gonna do, as I said, a Fate Night Zero thing, King Arthur? Let's see. She seems to be running, and okay, I'm completely wrong. Prince Tristan, hold it right there. A palace guard or a guard of the kingdom, whatever, is running after him. I mean, you probably could have done a better job. Like, I understand they're trying to combine. Okay, it's the child of Elizabeth and Meliodas. We have to share both traits, but like, it's not matching up. It's like, okay, Elizabeth's colored hair, great, but Meliodas' style of hair, great, but it should be longer, like Elizabeth's, great, okay, eye different colors, great, okay, but like a chibi Meliodas, but let's give him the tavern uniform, but not completely, and let's add the, like, they're trying to do a little too much, I think, with the design. It's not that bad, honestly, but I was confused. Was anybody else confused? I'm going to check the chat here in a second. Was anybody else confused by this fact? Like, I literally thought that we were going to go with Princess Tristan here. I really did. And we're back to black and white here. So maybe it's easier to tell in black and white or something. I don't know. But let's check the chat right quick. Let's see. We got Wilson saying, rip Escanor. Praise the sun. Andrew, with people being in quarantine, I am surprised more people aren't here. Yeah, well, Seven Deadly Sins lost a lot of its fans, honestly, and I don't even have 300 subscribers, so I'm not really that shocked. One Punch Man is far more popular, so when I do a live stream for that, and my Food Wars reviews were really popular, so it's not surprising that I would get a good turnout for the final chapter of Shokugeki no Soma, or Food Wars, and my One Punch Man ones would get a good turnout. Because everybody seems to want me to talk about One Punch Man because I don't like it as much as everybody else. I guess that's my shtick. Maybe I should just dedicate everything to One Punch Man and be like, Ticklebug is the worst thing in anime. Tatsumaki is a lolly. Don't give a shit what you say. You know, Saitama isn't that great a character. You know, maybe I should just do controversial videos like that just to get the YouTube community would. They would all puff up like a big puffer fish or something with a big angry red scowl on their face like this. But, you know, it'd probably get me views. Andrew says, Rip Escanor, the Lion Sin. Andrew said, yeah, he's a guy a lot of people were roasting this design on Twitter. Yeah, I'm not surprised. See, I had to stay kind of off Twitter and most of the Discord for a few days because the Raws were out and I didn't want to be spoiled. But yeah, Wilson said, it's literally just Elizabeth and Meliodas fused together. Yeah, and see, I mean, it's so obvious that it's bad in a sense. Like, I'm not a huge fan. Like, I felt like they could have done something better. Like, okay, it's the, like, my brother and me look more like our father than we do our mother. Go figure, we're guys. I have my mother's bad hair. That's about it. And my brother has my mother's eyes. You know, we have some features from our mother, but we generally resemble our father because we're dudes. I'm not saying there can't be a son that resembles a lot of their mother. That's the thing. But generally speaking, I've never seen a 50-50 split down the middle like this. This is just a little too, I don't know. As you guys pointed out, who pointed out it was a fusion? Yeah, Wilson said it's a fusion, so. Baku Blade 1 says, not confused, just don't like his design. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the design. I think they're trying too hard. That's all. I think Nakaba was trying too hard. So... anyways, let's jump in finally really to the chapter. Let's see. We have Tristan in the first panel. Guys, we've got a situation. This is really bad. Waving his arms in the air. Okay, for some reason I'm getting... is that one of those stupid numbers again? Okay, we're getting all those stupid numbers that interrupted my stream yesterday too. But I always have to check the phone. It's a work phone and a personal phone, so you never know. We have Tristan waving his hands in the air, yelling at everyone who will listen. Everybody's looking out. This is really bad. Is this going to be the boy who cried wolf? Are we going to do an Usopp 2.0 here? Guys, we got a situation. This is really bad. And then some people come out. It's okay. It's the friends or kids. There's a really fat kid. There's a kid that looks like she is going to be the biggest bitch in high school. And some regular folk there. Saying, what's all the fuss, Tristan? What's really bad? I've uncovered an evil plot to undermine the country. Okay, got Meliodas' spirit there. As a matter of fact, I've got one of the bad guys on my tail as we speak. And then... I've got one of the bad guys on my tail as we speak. it's the Palace Guard. Tristan Sama! Where'd he go? And we see that they're poking out from the alleyway. The Palace Guard is looking for, of course, the son of the king and queen. The kids in the alleyway. Bad guys? You sure you don't mean the castle guards? Like I said! Bad guys! Everyone calm down and listen closely. It's like, we are calm. You're nuts. You know, like that's what I'm waiting for. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, we get a very evil version of everybody. There's it's supposed to be Meliodas. Okay, where's my boy Escanor? Okay, there's King. That's clearly King. Okay, who's supposed to be Escanor in this shot? Like, that's Bon at the very top. Okay, a shadowy figure. Okay, we have King, easy. Meliodas, the big guy with the spiked helmet. Bon is clearly the dude to the far left. Deanne is most likely the small figure in between Meliodas and Bon. Merlin is clearly that one. So it leaves it up to a skinny dude with a spear or a dude with no face and claw hands. Okay, I mean, I understand it's nitpicky. They're supposed to look like demons and stuff, but like we should have had something with an axe. Like, man, that's disappointing. I was waiting to see childish demon version of Escanor. I was waiting to see that. So Tristan is going off saying, the legendary traders, the 7 deadly sins, are going to be gathering at the castle tonight. So says the rumors I heard from one of the maids who likes to gossip. My opponents are those villains from the wanted posters. They're planning to take over Leonis. Make no mistake. So, as the prince, nay, as a holy knight who will protect the peace of Leonis, I have an obligation to capture them. Okay, I mean, this is clearly the kids are clearly not buying it. Not buying this one iota, not at all. But I like the fact that if this is just a fun game that they're creating, like, I don't want to believe that this is just creating mischief for the sake of mischief. I like to think that, like, Tristan doesn't believe all this. Tristan is just trying to have some fun, is probably bored in the castle, and is trying to make up these plots just to have a good time, you know? Because clearly Tristan would have been regaled with the wonderful details of how the 7 deadly sins are the heroes of all of Britannia, you know, like, or maybe a conspiracy theorist. I don't know. So, next page, we have everybody walking away. And so everyone, lend me your strength to let's go home. See you, Tristan. It's time for dinner. Which is more important, dinner or the peace of the kingdom? And then just hush. And left alone in the alleyway. Then we see Castle Leonis, and Tristan is yelling at it, saying, it looks like I'm the only one I can count on. I will capture the 7 deadly sins if I have to do it myself. Just opens the door. Great. Sneak, 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 sneak. And then we have Elizabeth. Elizabeth's still with her goddess eyes, of course. Once again, I don't buy that alternate future where Elizabeth has the span of a regular human. That makes no goddamn sense to me. That would make, what would be the point of being half goddess? You know, that doesn't make any sense. You have a nearly immortal being, and then you have a human lifespan. You merge the two, and you only got a human lifespan. That makes no sense. Even Numenorians, or the Dunedain in Lord of the Rings, Tolkien already fixed this problem back in World War I, ladies and gentlemen, or World War II, around, you know, back in the 40s, all right? Back in the 40s. He already fixed this with Numenor. You have elves, you have man. When they go like this, you get dudes who can live for a couple centuries. You know, so, yeah. Anyways, we see Tristan being grabbed in the face and not so fast. Wherever did you run off to? And Tristan looks up, looks happy, and says, Mother, we were all looking for you. You really are a bundle of energy. And seems apparently gets along because Elizabeth is happy, hugging the children, or her child, and everything. Very nice. I like the added addition because I don't think I've been noting this for a while. But do you notice that the earrings, especially that one on the left, even though it's The art is a little scratchy here, it seems. I mean, Nakaba always had like this, like very thin penmanship, like this very like loose laid curved lines and just kind of sketch work for the art style. And sometimes it's not bad, but this detail right here is a little wonky. But the earring on her is the same earring, it seems. It's like it's kind of faded, but it seems to have the same symbol that Lord Twigo first noticed. So let's jump back over to the chat for a minute. As I said, I'm not going to let this go down without a fight. All right. So we got Wilson in here saying what happens if he looks like Esther Rosa when he grows up, and that would be kind of cool. I mean, if he cut his hair, he probably would, because once again, but Meliodas, I'm really hoping they show Meliodas starting to grow, because remember, the curse is over, meaning Meliodas can start to grow again. It was never that Zeldris and Meliodas were supposed to stay that way. Zeldris was trapped for 3,000 years when he was in prison, and they were like the exact same. They didn't change because they were frozen. Meliodas couldn't age because that was part of his curse. Now he can age again. I know demons are supposed to age slower, but it would be nice to see maybe he's just got like a little bit of scruff, maybe like a 5 o'clock shadow, maybe a little bit taller. Just to note that he is slowly aging. I would like that. Because I was always disappointed that we never really got a full adult form Meliodas outside of the spandex Power Ranger suit with the Demon King controlling him. Like, how about in that Illusion alternate future from Kath, where he had the like furred cape, like Bartra's like royal cape, and he wore that with his long hair tied in a ponytail or some shit, and he was like wielding a sword, and he looked more like a young man. Would you guys not be hype as shit for that? I certainly would. Let's see. Andrew says, I can't see Gother or Escanor when it comes to the figures. Yeah, me neither. Me neither. I really can't. But, yeah, it is what it is. Dark Knight is here. Hey, Dark Knight. I know Dark Knight is a very long-time follower of mine, or subscriber of mine, and was really looking forward to this live stream. So, you didn't miss much, man. I was just rambling about my own woes of the real world during this whole the flu season, right? The flu season. So, and we just went through Nakaba's message at the beginning of the chapter, and what I feel about the design of Tristan, who I initially thought was a girl. Is Tristan a boy, though? Tristan is a boy. Just a fusion of Elizabeth, kind of made a little more feminine. I mean, when you have Meliodas is already a chibi, so you have a chibi Meliodas, so a young boy mixed with a woman, and you fuse them together, gonna come off looking more like a girl. I mean, that's just usually how it works. All right, let's jump back to the chapter. So, I don't have a page number here, ladies and gentlemen, but we were just after, we were on the page following where Elizabeth shows up. Now, the lovely little Tristan with the Meliodas expression goes, huh? If you were all looking for me, then that means those sinners know about me? And darts away from, just skids away from Elizabeth. Elizabeth's like, sinners? But of course they do. Okay, so now Tristan is sweating bullets going, it can't be. How? They found out. I have learned their secret. Okay. Did nobody tell Tristan any of the stories of Millie's Sins? Ever? Like, are you telling me that Tristan never met Bon yet? That seems weird. Like, it seems really weird that, you know, King Arthur and King Meliodas wouldn't have had a conference by now where Merlin was there. It seems odd that he wouldn't tell his son about, you know, they wouldn't regale him with the death of their companion, Escanor, and the sacrifice he made. It makes no sense that they wouldn't like turn them into childhood bedtime stories. The Adventures of the Seven Deadly Sins. I'm not saying that I don't. I'm waiting to see where this goes, but if Tristan truly believes that these people are the traitors and killed Jar Jar, are we back at season 1? Like, oh man. So, the last panel in this page says, "Mother, the truth is I heard some information that Father and the sinners will be overthrowing the kingdom tonight." Okay, so is this a play-along thing? Did Meliodas put Tristan... Has he been feeding him? Okay, I would like that. If that's the twist, if Meliodas has been feeding him since he was a child, the 7 deadly sins will come to get you. Not the craw. That kind of thing. I'd love that. I really would. That would be good. Because you can totally see Meliodas scaring the literal bejesus out of his kid night after night. Don't worry, Elizabeth. I'll tell the kid a bedtime story. The 7 deadly sins. I can see it, and I'm on board with it. Please, Nakaba, don't disappoint. Please don't tell me I can write this shit better than you, because that's very sad. Let's see. So, tugging at his mother. "Tristan, we've been looking everywhere for you." I'm assuming this is going to be Meliodas. Okay, I don't like Bond's new haircut. I don't like it. Right off the bat, I do not approve. It's them, the 7 deadly sins. And, okay, Deanne looks the same. Gotha looks the same. Meliodas rocking that coat like a boss. Doesn't seem to be any bigger. And yeah, King, that Elvis look does it for him, I will admit. King looks cool. And Bond is, I don't like that new haircut. I don't like the fact that he... Or is it just the angle? But I've never seen it like that. Like that whole like New Age style where people like, oh, I'm going to shave this one half side of my head and I'm going to have all this hair on top. I know it can look good on some dudes and shit. I don't think it looks ever really that good on women. But no, I hate that hairstyle. I'm not one to talk. Bad hair, strawy, thin hair, and it's long and shitty. And I wear a hat a lot because I can't be bothered to do my hair. So, but still. Okay, 7 deadly sins. Let's see. Jump to the next page. We have Deanne poking at Tristan. And we have King there saying... They're saying, "It's Tristan. He looks just like you two. What a cutie." Well, he's definitely a fusion. So is this the first time they've met? I mean, I can see Deanne and King because that's the whole, soon to a giant and a fairy. So I can buy that. I just don't buy the Bond part. Let's see. It's true, but not as cute as our own kid. Well, where is your kid? So you guys have a kid now. That's interesting. Elaine and Bond have a kid. At this point, where's Gother knocking up Gila at this point? Let's see. We have Gother on the other side of Tristan going, "For being just a child, what an impressive combat class he has. Just as one would expect from the son of the captain and queen." Bond, and he jumps away from Gother. "The little tyke's as spirited as ever," says Bond. Meliodas says, "You knew how important today was. Where did you wander off to?" Okay, So Bond, by the sounds of it, Bond, this makes more sense. Bond would know. I can honestly, it's not a nitpick. I believe because we've already established this a long time ago, Deanne and King might not have met Tristan till now. Tristan seems to be only like 4 or 5 years old, 5 or 6. For a giant and a fairy to still show up after a decade, that's impressive. And Gother, of course, was going on a journey. Probably took a few years, so that's fine. But it seems that Bond does know because the little tyke's as spirited as ever, implying he knows. So Bond is met. That's fine. Okay. So we see Tristan pulling a very Meliodas face here, saying, I know everything about how you and my father are all the sinners who were exiled from the kingdom. And tonight you've come to the kingdom of Leonis to stage a coup. I've got Hendy Sands and Hauser Sands backing me up. There's no talking your way out of this one, you hear? And they're going to laugh their ass off. I've got Hendrickson and Hauser backing me up. So who told... Okay, so Tristan is kind of like Elizabeth, a little gullible. I'm gonna take that. A little bit of the gullibility. And probably heard the tale about how they were exiled as traitors of the kingdom. And ran off before they could hear the other part. And that was probably Hendrickson telling Tristan the tale, or Hauser, somebody telling the tale. But they never finished part 2 of that tale or something. Which, once again, I kind of like the idea of Meliodas doing the whole bedtime story thing this whole time. But I would buy that too. Let's see. Okay, is Meliodas going to pull it off? Okay, look at Meliodas. Alright, this is still pretty good. This is still fun. Meliodas there. Looking like a baller. I love those evil eyes. You know what? That would make... I'm depressed that I can't make a thumbnail out of that because there's no reason to. Oh, that's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. We got to turn a light on here, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to lose daylight soon. So, you figured us all out, did you? Good job. Crack. But now that you know, we can't let you live. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Yes. Awesome. Meliodas still Meliodas. I like that. Tristan. Shock? I knew it. So it's true. My father really is a villain. And Deanna King. Sheesh, you didn't tell him the truth, did you? I figured it'd be more fun that way. Ah, man, I should have done that too. Okay, so was it really Meliodas? Please tell me it was Meliodas. Meliodas dropped hints or let Tristan overhear conversations. Like, please tell me this is the case. It'd be hilarious. I figured it'd be more fun that way. Bond is losing his shit going, oh man, I should have done that to my kid. I should have pulled this stunt. This is awesome. A 5-year-long gag. You know what? I don't have it in me to do that to my kids. Though my mother did it to me. My mother did it to me and my brother. Fun fact, we're going to check the chat, and then I'm going to tell you guys. Because, okay, let's keep this live stream going. It's not that popular. I only got 5 or 6 people in here. So I feel like we'll be able to wrap this up. That's fine. Alright. Let's see. Dark Knight said, best tie-dye reviewer hands down. Thanks, man. One person said it. That means it's got to be true because I don't believe in the majority anymore. Screw democracy. Dark Knight said it. I'm the best tie-dye reviewer on YouTube, hands down. And now the depression of the series is over, and I am not the best of anything anymore. Okay, I'm over it. Dark Knight says, he looks like Miles' son. It still looks like a fusion between Escanor. Not at all. Looks like a fusion between Elizabeth and Meliodas to me. MC Dude says, this is a very animated Griever we have today. Well, I mean, you guys are here. You know what? I appreciate every single one of you. I can't check a list of who's here. There's apparently only 6 of you in here right now. But I know for a fact that I'm going to assume that everybody who's been chatting is still in here. So I'm going to say that Odin's in here, Wilson, MC Dude, Andrew, Baku Blade, and Dark Knight. So there's the 6. So you all, fantastic. Thank you for being a part of this because honestly, I don't really know what I expected. This was either going to take off and I'd have 25 people in here, or it was going to be all the 3 people. So the fact that you guys are still in the chat room, please post your questions and stuff. I want this to be a long one. Like, this isn't One Punch Man where I'm like, okay, we can talk about other things after the chapter and then I just want to end it and go eat. I don't mind being here for a 2.5 hour, 3 hour live stream about this. I feel like this is not getting the credit it deserves. 7 Deadly Sins was a fantastic series, and we should definitely have more hype for this. You know, and one of the big mainstays of my channel was always Taizai. So, you know, but anyways, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who showed up, everybody who has commented. You know, you guys are awesome. You guys stuck with it just like I stuck with it. And this is what we're getting. And honestly, so far, I'm having a good time. I really am. One design flaw. That's my only problem so far with this chapter. Is I'm not a huge fan. I felt like there probably could have been more thought put into the child of Meliodas and Elizabeth. It's not a terrible design. The expressions are great. Just the design itself could have used a little work. So far, this chapter ain't that bad. And that cover page with Escanor as the main attraction. And if you don't think so, I mean, just look at this live stream thing I set up with all of 5 minutes to spare. But look at how I set it up. This is all about Escanor. Okay, we have Doman and his games too. Is that how I say it? Doman? So Doman's in here saying, I am the 7th person. Thank you for showing up, Doman. I appreciate it. Andrew says, you're welcome. No, I really do appreciate you guys. I appreciate... It's going to be sad because when Food Wars ended, I didn't lose necessarily subscribers, but I lost regular commenters. People who would discuss and talk about the different theories and discuss each chapter with me in my review videos. You know, I can name a few people just right offhand that I haven't heard from since Food Wars ended. So, not that they necessarily unsubscribe, but I don't hear from them anymore. And that's kind of sad. And I don't want to lose those people. And I don't want to lose you guys either. So, anything I can do, that's why I'm going to keep 7 Deadly Sins content going. I'm going to do discussion videos, like Tekken 101 probably. I'm going to do theories. I was always doing theories, so I'll probably do some more theories. I'll probably do a top 5 things, top worst things, how I think it should have ended, how to handle the last arc. I have ideas for 7 Deadly Sins content to keep you guys involved. So, look forward to that. I can't promise when it's going to come out. A lot of crap to worry about right now, as we all know. But, yeah. We have Dark Nightwing saying, I also want to talk about the manga in general. We absolutely will. After we get through this chapter, we'll be talking about I'll be able to pull up the chat all the time, and I'll be able to watch it live properly without anything else on screen, and we can go through. We can talk about your favorite arcs. We can talk about the manga, because I still think the manga is great. As I said, yesterday I watched like 4 or 5 episodes of Season 1, English dub, 7 Deadly Sins. And my God, this series was goddamn good at Once Upon a Time. That series had almost 0 flaws back Once Upon a Time. It was awesome. Wilson says, only the true people who love Taizai are here. Exactly. I still love Taizai. I hate a lot of this arc. I, loathe it. But I still love Taizai. I still love most of the characters. I still love the first arc. Bar none amazing. The second arc, okay, I didn't like the whole Deanne and Goth. Gother's side chapter, winning me over with one of my most hated sins, and one of my most hated characters running at the time, to turning him into such a sympathetic... Gother's character arc, best in Taizai, bar none. There's a lot to love about this series. Andrew said, I guess the last few months have unmotivated for the final chapter. Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. That's why I didn't expect a lot of people here. As I said, this was either going to be my most successful live stream, because I am the Taizai guy, relatively speaking, a low-income, low-bar YouTuber Taizai guy, but I'm still like to think that I'm one of the Taizai guys, and that people go to if they actually care about Taizai, and, you know, it was either going to take off or it was going to be a dud. We're getting somewhere in between, and that's enough for me. And she says, after 7 Deadly Sins, I will probably go to your One Piece and One Punch Man videos. Yeah, please do. Though I will say, I really screwed up in the last review because I didn't notice the blush on Kinemon's cheek. So I totally thought that was Kinemon's plan. So, yeah, don't watch the last one. Go to some other ones, please. Dark Knight saying, leave a like, guys. Dark Knight plugging for me. You go, Dark Knight. King Odin saying, sorry, Griever, when I commented your stream had not started yet, and it said that it was going to start at 8, so I left a while till now, but now I am back. That's fine. my timer is always subject to change. How's that sound? So try not to go by the timer, guys. I'm trying to be better about that. Usually, I just put a timer to make sure I can get all the graphics right, make sure that OBS isn't lagging, stuff like that, right? But then sometimes I'll put like, okay, in half an hour from now, and then I hit start 5 minutes after I say half an hour from now. I'm trying to be better about that. I'm starting to post 1 hour in advance, 45 minutes in advance, and then usually I try to start it close to that time, within about a 5-7 minute bracket of that time. Just for you guys to know how that subject to change. Live streams are still not my go-to. They're not my thing, because I find like if I screw up, I can just edit it out. If I'm like, hey everyone, this is shit, like I can easily fix that. Or if I'm like, hey everyone, everyone, Griever here, like I can re-record. I can fix that. So I find it's not as polished, but I think I'm getting good at it. Like, I say like too much. I go, I look away from the camera. I do a lot of things wrong. I have long pauses. There's a lot of things I do wrong, so I try to fix those post for my reviews relatively when I have time. But in a live stream, it's just live, right? Dark Nightwing says, I love Taizai and Escanor, man. He is a fan favorite. Escanor will always be a fan favorite. Escanor, I can see why people dislike him, but I can see it, but I don't agree with any of their reasoning. So, like, I can read their points. I can understand what they're saying. I just don't agree with it. They either miss the point. Like, I've never seen a compelling reason to dislike Escanor. Andrew says, I still love and care about Seven Deadly Sins, Bleach, Toriko, Soma, etc., even after all their rough final arcs. Okay, Andrew is a man after my own heart. Andrew is a man, like, that was beautiful. Seven Deadly Sins, Bleach, Toriko, Food Wars. Some of my favorite animes of all time. Some of my top manga of all time. I think I can confidently say, not in my anime, because I have nostalgia tripping for anime. Things like Vision of Escaflowne and Inuyasha. Like they're going to take the bar. But a couple of these would be in my top 10 anime. I think I can confidently say that. And I think they could all be considered in my top 10, at least my top 15 manga of all time. So, yeah. Yeah, the rough final arcs mean nothing. And honestly, I think Toriko did the best of all of them with what they had. Let's see. King Odin says, still waiting for you to review the last episode. Yeah, well, I had One Punch Man. I had One Piece on Sunday. One Punch Man to do yesterday. I have the chapter. This is the big thing, right? I mean, we can agree that the latest episode of Season 3 is not as important as the final chapter. So this has to be done. The episode review will probably be out by the end of the week. I think I have it recorded. I don't have it edited. So, and the Soma one is edited. So Soma's probably going to come out first, and then that. So it'll be out though. It'll be out this week. Odin says, ultimately, I think this chapter was good, setup material, and genius as it leaves you wanting more, particularly because of all the unanswered questions. Well, I'm still going through it, so try to keep the spoilers off heavy. I don't think anything in there was really a spoiler, but let's, keep it like that. Dark Knight says, I'm thinking, how can Nakaba make an amazing chapter like Escanor? A character like Escanor. Well, Nakaba had a great thing. Nakaba knew what he was doing for a long time. But like so many series, I feel like popularity caused Nakaba... Nobody's ever going to admit it. When it happened to Bleach, when it happened to Naruto, when it happened to Toriko, when it happened to... I guess even One Piece to an extent, because people still complain about hockey. And, what about Crocodile and people like that. And it's like, well, his original plan was a 5-year manga. It's been 20 years. Like, what did he expect? Something. Even Oda can't fix every single plot hole and retcon. The idea is that over 900 chapters, they're this big in the grand scheme of things. And you can make workarounds. At the end of the day, that's the line I take, right? But, yeah. But Nakaba had a great story. And he had a good line. And he had a lot of the mythology down. Like, it was written for him. So he was able to just take inspiration. If he liked, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, he'd be like, oh, I'll take the Green Knight character, but I'm going to leave that battle and all what it involves for later. But it would be a nice callback for anybody who knows about it. He was able to cherry pick and choose how much inspiration, how much he wanted to resemble it, and how much he wanted to deviate from it. So he did a really great job for a lot of arcs. But I feel like once the Holy War was going down, things started to change, and that's when I think popularity got the best of it. I think his story was probably supposed to end a far different way. I think the arc with the Holy War was supposed to go far differently. I think the end climax was supposed to be Mile. That's my opinion. But Dark Knight says, man, Toriko was amazing. The fight story, the food arc. Yeah, Toriko was epic. Toriko was great. Toriko had an okay final arc. I just wanted more. Andrew, yeah, I wanted that space arc. King Odin says, that's why I'm commenting so little, because I've read it several times already and examined the arc quite a bit. All right, well, we will be jumping back into that in a moment. I need to take a leak and make sure that I have a refill of this stuff. So, and yes, thanks to King Odin, I know to mute the microphone this time, because apparently these walls aren't very well insulated for that. Then I will check the chat and we will get back to it. So just give me a moment, guys. Okay. Sorry. Mike was muted the whole time. I see that. See? King Odin was such a great guy to bring up. I got to mute myself, right? Because the fan, the closed door, the walls, all that stuff, they're not good enough. And look at the end result. I just talked for 4 or 5 minutes. And I was muted. Oh, that's great. Cheers. Okay. So, compressed version. I was talking about, I said my mother, that story that she pulled a similar, long-running joke like Meliodas pulled on his kid that he believed forever. Me and my brother, same idea. She believed that, or she told us that we used to go camping and stuff, like tenting, trailer, the whole bit, I still do it to this day. So we did that since we were kids, and, sometimes those drives were hour to 4 hour, whatever, wherever the campground was. And for a kid, that's a long time. And before Game Boys and stuff, we like to listen to music, of course. Who doesn't like music? My mother fed us a lie, me and my brother, for years, that if Mom got sick listening to the radio in the car, it would make her car sick. So we couldn't have the radio on. We couldn't listen to CDs. We couldn't have the radio on. We couldn't listen to music while we were driving. That was the thing. We believed it for years. And to us, as kids, okay, she has diverticulitis. We know that now, whatever. And that makes her weak and stuff. But that was all bullshit. Now, we believed it because this is also the same woman that needs to take 2 Gravols to watch a movie in the movie theater and still has to leave the theater before the 2-hour mark. And that's a fact. It really does upset my mother. So it makes her woozy and all that stuff. So it wasn't that far-reaching that Mom could never take us to the movie theater. Wouldn't it make sense that she couldn't go in a car and listen to the radio? So that was the story I told. And we found out about this 3 years ago and called her on it. My brother would have been 23 at the time. I was 26. So, Meliodas, step up your game because my mother had me going for over 2 decades. 26 years, barring being a baby, 26-year long-running gag. And you know what? Want to know her real reasoning? Her real reasoning? She just didn't want to listen to the music. She had heard all the 70s, 80s, and 90s music because she was alive, and she didn't like the new 2000s music. So when we were kids in the 90s, she'd already heard it all. She didn't like it or whatever, and it was the same old tunes over and over and over. So she just didn't want to listen to it. She was sick of the music, so she fed us a lie that it made her sick. And my dad is totally oblivious to this, that he doesn't remember that he was a part of it. So that's hilarious. He must be losing his marbles. But, yeah. So, Meliodas, step up your game. I got a mother over here that ran me through the ringer for 26 years. Got to step up. Step up that game. All right. So, I should have checked the chat beforehand. My God. But, yeah. So, going back there, I saw a lot of that. Thanks, guys. Whatever. It extended the stream by 5 minutes. I'm not that worried. Yeah. So, what did the chat say other than that? Was King Odin said, 7 Deadly Sins is the Yu Yu Hakusho for this past decade for me. Charming ending, too short. Hand rush towards the end. Fair enough. King Odin also said, but still my favorite decade overall. Domin and his games too. Is the Supreme Deity actually not getting mentioned? I don't know yet. I haven't really fully. Yeah, mute that mic, says King Odin, and then it's all the your mic is muted. Oh damn! Oh damn! Oh damn! So, and then read lips to a degree. Blah blah blah. Yeah, you missed all the good bits. No, what I was showing with my hair, I forgot to mention. That's how I brought into it. I was like, my hair looks really greasy. It's probably because it is, because I was working under a hat all day. And I was like, my mother's hair. Oh, yeah, my mother. That's how it So, Andrew says 26 years. Yeah, well, I mean, barring being a baby, yeah. Ever since, and I was camping in a crib. So my mother and father, they're big campers, and they just set up a crib in a tent. I'm serious. There's pictures. So I was 1 year old, 9 months old. I was still camping. So that long. I can't imagine disliking music that much. See, that's the thing. My mother loves music. She just couldn't stand all the music on the radio. And this is before, like, burned CDs and shit, right? This is long before burned CDs. This is long before there was more than dial-up internet. So, it's not, like, they had X number of CDs in the truck. She had heard all the songs. She didn't need to want to listen to them. And all the radio stations played the same shit. So, she just didn't want to hear the same stuff anymore. There was no nostalgia there because she had heard it yesterday. That was her reasoning. King Owen said, I sold an RV to many a camping mother. Well, there you go. Camping mothers. Well, we got off track here. Let's jump in to more of the chapter. So, after that, we had, I figured it'd be more fun that way. Amanda should have done that. Bond laughing his ass off. And then we have Tristan jumping forth. Hiya! And Meliodas just like, and smack, 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 karate chop, karate chop, karate chop. I'm a ma chop, karate chop, karate chop, karate chop. Saying, Father, the great holy knight, Tristan shall punish you. And then, okay, what's happening? What? I'm missing something. Okay, did Tristan like ha 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 and then point her finger at her father? Because I missed that or something. The great holy knight Tristan shall punish you, and then said, wait, you want to become a holy knight? Yeah, because punishing bad guys is what a holy knight does. Oops, I meant enough talking. And Elizabeth and Deanne are laughing. What a funny father and son. That's our captain for you, says Gother while smiling. We jump over to the next page, and we see all the 7 deadly sins gathered around Tristan, saying, Tristan saying, I won't hand over Leonis to the likes of you sinners. Now all of you outside will fight fair and square. So cute, thinks Deanne. So they clearly didn't know the whole story. Elizabeth says, good idea. Why don't we head outside now? And Meliodas starts smiling and says, oh, it's already time. Bond says, all right, let's do it. So where are all their kids? Are we going to see them? I mean, I would hope so. It's clearly their birthday or the Ascension or something. There's a fireworks. There's got to be something, some event, because Elizabeth says that, like, we've been looking all over for you. Meliodas says, do you know what day it is? So it's clearly somebody's birthday or something. I don't know. So Elizabeth says, come along. Tristan's like, huh? What? Come on, get a move on. Out we go. Meliodas showing his kid, and the 7 deadly sins are walking out. There's Slater and Bartra. Bartra looking old as shit. Bartra looking woozy. I mean, clearly it's... How old is Tristan here? I don't think it gave us a date of the number of years. Would you guess Tristan is... I was guessing 5 or 6, but maybe older? I mean, Bartra's still alive, and Bartra was already old, so... Bartra, anyway, says, Tristan, I'm coming too. Grandfather too? And then, boom. Okay, I wasn't being literal about the fireworks. But okay, literal fireworks. Boom, boom, boom. I believe that's Bartra, Tristan, and Elizabeth. And Tristan's looking up, going, fireworks? And then Tristan, we're taking a night stroll, says Meliodas. And he says, oh, okay, it's Tristan Sama. And then there's all the people of Leonis. There's a big double spread here. Happy 10th birthday. Oh, whoa, it's been... That kid's supposed to be 10? I thought that kid was like 5 or 6. I mean, I guess because we're so used to Meliodas. Man, you can blame the art style, but maybe I'm just being stupid. Like, I don't know. I thought a 5-year jump was good. Everybody looks the goddamn same. You know, the kids walking and talking. I mean, I was walking and talking at 5. So, I don't know. Happy 10th birthday, Prince Tristan. So, I was right about the birthday. So, it's his 10th birthday. All right, yeah, I suppose I could see him being 10 years old. I'm not complaining about that. That seems about right. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. All right. So we get a bunch of people, everybody waving. We see Prince Tristan, the king and queen are there too. Happy birthday. It's the legendary heroes of Seven Deadly Sins. King Bon. King Bon? What? King Bon. So is Bon, what? Is Bon now king of the Fairy King's Forest or something because he married Elaine? Is that how that works? Or did he establish a kingdom? Like, he was a king in Arthurian legend, but the story's quite a bit different, so. Curious. The Royal Prince, happy birthday. I don't recognize any faces necessarily in the crowd. I mean, clearly they're all to the back. Clearly that's Hendrickson right there at the far. I'm assuming that's Hendrickson at the far left there. Kind of looks like him. I'm going to assume that's Hendrickson. The face is detailed enough for me to assume that. I'm just scouring here, ladies and gentlemen, for anybody else. No Merlin, and of course no Escanor. Don't forget your own birthday, Tristan. Oh, so that's probably one of the kids that was laughing at, or meeting up with Tristan or whatever. It's Harlequin Sama and Deanne Sama. King Bon, don't forget your own birthday, Tristan. Maybe Harlequin is no longer king of the Fairy King's Forest. Alright, so let's see. Tristan looking on. Today's your 10th birthday, remember? That's why your father gathered everybody here today. Huh? Looks at Elizabeth. Says, but mother, they say father's the leader of these villains. And Bon looks down and says, can't you tell by just joking? If your old man were really a villain, do you think everyone in the country would admire him so much? And he's there. Meliodas is literally there like, da 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 da. You know, like he's just having a grand old time. He's like, hey everybody, what's going on? We're gonna do this shit today. All right. You know. So that went from a funny Joker-esque jester thing to a Matthew McConaughey. All right. So that's Meliodas in a nutshell. A Joker mixed with Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, I can see it. So, and then he's still waving and stuff. And Tristan says, I won't be fooled. He's so short and irresponsible and a big drinker and touches mother's boobs every day. Even though I stopped drinking from them ages ago. Oh, okay, wow. So I won't be fooled. So he is short, he is irresponsible, he is a big drinker, and he touches mother's boobs every day. And everyone's doing a face palm. Bond's like, yeah, well, yeah. Elizabeth's still blushing after all this time. It's like, yeah, well, it's been like you've had 3,000 years of gropes, and he's still not sick of those. You know, like, gotta give it to the man. Like, don't get me wrong. I love my wife. I love her body. But it's easy to say. Oh yeah, I won't get sick of you. But like, I love you forever. Because forever is only about 75 years. You know, give or take. So, you know, 3,000 as, I think it was in Zack and Miri Make a Porno where Daryl Johnson says, Daryl Johnson? No. Daryl's the name on The Office. Craig Ferguson. Am I getting this name right? Anyways, just basically say, I've been staring at the same old busty ass pair of titties for 20 years. I'm due for a new set. You know, sort of idea. So Meliodas, yeah, 3,000 years and he's still going at it. Yeah, props to him that he does not give a crap about anybody else. You know. I won't know because I'll be dead long before I hit my first 1,000. So, I mean, you know. So we see Meliodas there saying, by the way, Tristan, what do you want for a gift? A legendary sword. Nope. What is... See? Tristan's... Meliodas, what do you want for a gift? A legendary sword. Like, okay, let's give a 10-year-old... Here's Excalibur. You know, here you go. I borrowed it from King Arthur. It's fine. Here's Momomushi. Here's the here's the Kusanagi no Tsurugi or Tsurugi. The T silent, whatever. You know, like. Oh, that's actually funny. Legendary sword. No. No. You know, Mr. Irresponsible is just like, yeah, no. And then we have Gother pulling some stunt, going, then I shall give you a special present. The true story of the sinners called the 7 deadly sins. Oh, he's going to manipulate. He's going to give him all the memories. Oh, that's so cool. Like, I'm seeing the double spread. The moment I saw it, I was like, he's giving him all the memories. He's got all of them. From Arthur to Meliodas and their love, to Merlin, to Zeldris being caught, to all of them drinking. There's Escanor. There's the final fight with the Demon King, Escanor. There's Mile. There's Gother and Deanne. There's King. There's Meliodas going evil. There's Hawk being burned to a crisp by Hendrickson. There's Bond running away. There's Deanne. There's Gallon. There's Hawk transformed into that weird flying thing. There's Mile and Gother. There's Kath even. There's Kath. There's the entire story. And their birth. And Tristan's birth. And then we see Tristan in his mind. Tristan is now crying. And then we appear to jump over past this scene. We're past this scene. Okay, you know what? So far, I really like this chapter. So far, I really do enjoy it. It's not fast paced. It's nicely paced. Slow almost in a good way. I'm actually really enjoying this, guys. I hope you are too, because I really think this is really good. Especially considering the abysmal last arc. I wish we had more. I really do. But this is not a bad last chapter. This is not a bad epilogue chapter, shall we say. It's not bad for an epilogue chapter. Ignoring all the problems. This is pretty good. So we have out in the field, it seems Meliodas and Tristan. I can't believe you were convinced that your own dad was a villain. It's your fault for not telling me, father. I didn't do anything wrong. And Meliodas is training him, fighting with a twig. And Tristan has a sword. It's your fault for not telling me. So that's a great joke to pull on your kid. It really is. I'd probably pull the same stunt if I was smart enough to think of it. So we have Elizabeth and this is saying, boys, lunchtime. Oh, it seems to just be a wooden sword. Like a carving of a little, like, it looks like Sting from Lord of the Rings. A hobbit-sized sword for one who lives in a hobbit hole. Boys, lunchtime, coming, be right there. So they're walking forward to the picnic. Really makes me wonder what kind of adult you'll grow up to be. Nobody knows the future. That's pretty deep coming from a 10-year-old. Nobody knows the future. Not a single person. It makes me wonder. Yes, well, nobody knows the future. I am Yoda. For 800 years, I have trained Jedi. You know, that's kind of deep for a 10-year-old, but says, you're right, but you could word it another way, too. And Meliodas is looking up. Tristan's pondering the sky. Your future's ever expanding, just like that sky. So, okay, the chapter title, plug. Roll credits or whatever CinemaSins does for that shit. Alright. They still, like, Meliodas still looks like a dude. Tristan still looks like a girl to me. But I mean, that is what it is. So Elizabeth's there setting the table with a picnic basket, but I still have to become the king, right? It's okay if you want to be something else too. Really? Of course, a holy knight is fine too. Then I've already decided. Meliodas looks back. One of the 7 deadly sins. And they look towards a huge sky. Meliodas and his kid walking hand in hand. The 7 deadly sins. The end. Manga ends. That's it. That is our series, ladies and gentlemen. That is our series. Let's check the chat, but I was hoping for a word on Escanor. I guess the best could be expected, the fact that we got that cover page. That cover page with the sunbeam, the light shining down on our Lord, our Savior, our pride. I suppose we'll have to take that as our W. But that's it, guys. 7 Deadly Sins is over. The Natsu no Taizai has reached its end. Gotta say, for those of you who don't know, I had a YouTube channel before this one. I actually have 2 channels. But I had a channel before this one that was a manga review channel. Mostly a gaming channel at first. That's where the re-uploads for my Let's Plays come from. But I started reviewing 7 Deadly Sins back on that channel. I believe the first chapter review was chapter 167. And so I've been following this for well over 100 chapters, almost 200 full chapters, 7 Deadly Sins. And yeah, this is a strange feeling. It really is. I like the chapter. I like the art. I wish we had a little bit more. Maybe some Escanor. A longer chapter, a longer final chapter would have been good. Where the bloody hell is that announcement? Like, am I missing a page here or something? Because last panel I get is one of the 7 Deadly Sins full page spread. 7 Deadly Sins the end. I don't see any kanji or anything. And if I scroll up, at the very end there, it was supposed to say, at the very end, there's an announcement that'll make you go, what? So please enjoy the very last chapter of the 7 Deadly Sins to the fullest. I'm at the end and I don't see this announcement. So where the information for this announcement is supposed to be, I don't know. People are talking it's a sequel series. But I have no information on that. We can still talk about it, but that's the chapter. So let's get into it. Also, I gotta say, guys, I'm actually happy about that mic mute section. This is my first real. That's my honest first real blunder, like full on, like no bars, like blunder on a live stream. Yeah, you could hear me pissing a little bit, fucking like really if you were like really loud volume one stream, but whatever, you know. This is an actual full on blunder, and it's like my first blunder, and I'm really happy. Like staggering over your words and blah blah blah, whatever, but. That's my first real blunder. Like screwing up. That'd be like screwing up the chat, screwing up the graphics, having a black screen, you know. None of that's ever happened. And it'd be, you know, oh, it's not recording, it's buffering. I've never had that. So it's kind of fun to have my first real blunder. The mic was muted. And during the... I mean, very Nakaba, isn't it? Nakaba making mistakes every day, all day. Griever over here being the Taizai reviewer, making those mistakes. Alright. Let's go through the chat. Let's get the chat running, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the chat running. So, this has already gone over 2 hours, hasn't it? Or close to. King Odin says... Did you see that glorious cover page? Gotta look closely to see the true glory. Oh, I saw it. I talked about that shit for like 7 minutes. 7 minutes of glory forget 7 minutes in heaven. 7 minutes of glory, of praise the Son. Let's see. Dark Knight says, I hope we will see Tristan in adult form, and maybe we'll see the Supreme Deity in the sequel. Likely enough, we will see King... Like, if there truly is a spin-off sequel, and it focuses on King Arthur as the pseudo-main character, of course we're going to see... There is a problem with this chapter. King Diane apparently had a kid. We don't see hide nor hair of that. And, where's Merlin? Where's Arthur? What are they up to? We don't see Elaine and Bond's kid. You know, so there is a few elements missing from this, in all honesty. Excuse me. But Supreme Deity showing up in the sequel. See, at this point, I don't trust Nakaba's writing to make the Supreme Deity showing up at all. I like to believe the Supreme Deity dead. Supreme Deity died, and it's going to take thousands of years for her to find her form again or something. And the Demon King was imprisoned. Because otherwise, really, you can go back and say, well, why didn't this happen? Why didn't that happen? There's too many inconsistencies and retcons with the rest of the series. If you bring the Supreme Deity in, I've been in heaven the whole time just chilling. That makes no sense. So, like, I don't know how they would bring her into the fold. Well written into the fold. King Odin says, I see the chapter had a better translation release since I last read it a few hours ago. Oh, well, that's good to know. I did say I was going to wait. There was an initial one last night, but by the time I got home from work this morning, this one was here. So, this one I used. And also going back onto that, yeah, if we focus on the Knights of the Round Table, we will see Lancelot, we will see who is Bond and Elaine's kid, we will see Gawain, we will see Tristan, we will see, probably Kay, the brother of Arthur, probably, that'll have to be retconned or something, but, Andrew says, besides Tristan's design and the lack of certain characters, I gotta say this is a pretty good final chapter. As far as final chapters go, it's not, as far as an epilogue chapter, let's use that keyword, as far as an epilogue, like 10 years later chapter, which this clearly is, 10 years later, I would almost say it's better than the Bleach 10 years later chapter. Just gonna put that out there. It's better than that. I think. Tristan's design, yeah. Lack of certain, yeah. As I said, lack of characters. We didn't see any of the kids. There's no Merlin. There's no real actual mention of Escanor in the chapter. We see Hendrickson for a second, Slater and Barger for a second. But we don't see where's Dreyfus, where's Grandmore, Gil Thunderhauser, where's, we should be seeing a lot more of the characters, I think. Even maybe a bit dialogue. What has Gother been up to? How's Bond and Elaine? What's everything going? Why is Bond King Bond all of a sudden? And why is it only Harlequin Summer? Did King relinquish his title as King of the Fairies? And is Deanne, why is Deanne only Deanne Sama? Is Deanne not Queen of the Giants? What happened? I want details, The lack of details is probably the worst part. King Odin says, Tristan looks sort of reminds me of the Dragon Knight Sirio from Saint Seiya. I see it a little bit. Not completely, but yeah. Baku Blade says, go to the Code Nanasha website. Oh, is that for the sequel? Yeah, okay. I could probably do that. Andrew said, I've been watching and reading Seven Deadly Sins for the last 6 years. Kind of sad to see it end, despite the flaws. Yeah, I've been reading for about 5 years, give or take. And as a reviewer, I feel like I have a stronger... I don't know. I don't want to... make it sound like, oh, my feelings matter more because I'm a YouTuber. But it's just that reading the chapter and reviewing the chapter are two different experiences, I find. And I think I got more from the series as a result. And my feelings towards the series are heightened as a result of that. I'm not saying that there's not just avid readers out there that know Seven Deadly Sins inside and out, and they are far more invested than I am. I'm just saying that for me personally, I find when you start reviewing a series, there are aspects you never saw before. There are feelings you never got before. And there is a certain level of dedication. There's just differences when you review a series week to week. Dominus Games 2 says, is Hawk still in purgatory? Yeah. Andrew said, apparently the sequel is going to be called The Four Knights of the Apocalypse, but that's not a lot of info. Yeah, if it's The Four Knights of the Apocalypse, I'm going to say that's basically the Four Horsemen. So you have death, war, strife, and fury. Or, yeah, pestilence, whatever you want to call it. Wilson said, Nakaba probably still are trying to figure out the rest of the kids' designs. I mean, yeah, well, he kind of screwed up the first design. So, yeah. King Odin says, I think we are going to see Hawk in Purgatory again. I think Mael is going to have a son named Gawain. I think that the Supreme Deity is still sealed in the angel version of Purgatory or something. Okay, so a few things. Number one, I don't believe Purgatory has anything to do with the demon realm. So I just call crap on where the Supreme Deity is supposed to be. Like, oh, it's called Purgatory. So what's the heaven one? Limbo? St. Peter's Church? I don't know. Like, it's just, that would be stupid. To me, it would be stupid to have more than one purgatory. Like, oh, there's the good version of purgatory and the bad version of purgatory. You know, that's, I wouldn't like that. I think the Supreme Deity could probably still be sealed, but where? Where is my question? And why have we never heard about this before? See, that's the problem. I hate when they add things after the fact and it's not handled well. Oda does it, but when Oda does it, it's handled well. You can still complain about it, but at least it's always handled well. Like, I would have some issues with that. If we see Hawk Purgatory again, whatever, Miles going to have a son named Gawain. That would prove why Gawain is the man, but yeah. Dark Knight says the Four Knight of the Apocalypse is a sequel. Yeah, so Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Andrew says, kind of weird that we don't see Arthur, Merlin, Gilthunder, Hauser, Jericho, and the other kids. Yeah, like, you can tell this is a wrap-up chapter. And what pisses me off about that, what really does piss me off about that, is that we were setting up for, like, a new arc sort of idea. They could have ended it after the Demon King third fight. They could have ended it without any of the chaos. Like, yeah, they could have ended it way before, but I'm saying, like, they could have had 10 chapters of epilogue easy by ignoring this chaos. Merlin is Eisen, Lady of the Lake, retconning inconsistent bullshit. They could have ended all of that. This Kath thing, they could have ended it all. And just hinted towards Kath becoming Kath Palag later on. And this King of Chaos crap, all that chaos stuff could have been left to the wayside. We could have brought Arthur back without chaos. Or we could have brought him back with chaos and Merlin could say it's a forbidden technique using the power of chaos. Only time will tell. We could add, I would have rather had one bullshit line about, oh, we'll find out in the future. For now, let's just party. You know, and we would have been like, yeah, we're pissed about that, but I have a number list about, like, I have 25 things to complain about in the last 10 chapters that could have been condensed to one complaint by just giving us that one line. Bring Arthur back, give him the power of chaos, don't explain anything about it. Lady of the Lake, didn't happen. None of the Lady of the Lake. No Kath. No nothing. And we could have had 10 chapters of epilogue featuring these characters. And I don't excuse Nakaba for this, because Nakaba trolled us with an epilogue already with multiple chapters. Just put it in the wrong place. So. Wilson says the sequel to the manga and a fourth season was confirmed on Crunchyroll's Twitter page. A sequel to that anime? I'm going to be really drunk until I eat something because I need a lot of alcohol to digest. I need a lot. of booze to digest that. That fourth season. After that third season. Ugh. No. Please tell me I need to check my eyes. Wear glasses. Wow. Wilson, you're dropping a bomb on me, man. Dominant Games 2 said the best character of the whole series was definitely Sir Twigo. You've been watching too many Nux Taku videos, my friend. Dark Knight Wing says Tristan will be the main character, I think. See, I don't want to follow Tristan, honestly. Like, if you follow Arthur, whatever, because if you follow Arthur, you could make it like, okay, here's the three main knights. Bond's kid, Meliodas' kid, and Arthur. That'd be cool. But, follow Tristan as the main character. Why not just continue Seven Deadly Sins, the manga, if you had a spin-off already? Like, why make a spin-off? Why make a sequel series? Why not just continue following Meliodas? His story was not done. Their Seven Deadly Sins story was not done. You made sure of that with all this chaos crap. So, as I said, my idea of the Mother of Chaos basically being Mama Hawk is chaos. The embodiment just gave up her form for X, Y, and Z reason, and once the balance gets too out of whack and the Holy War got too crazy, she breaks out of it. The seven seals, we go on that biblical shit. We break the seventh seal. The seventh seal is finally, the four graces versus the 10 commandments. And when the four graces went in Mile, and the 10 commandments went in Meliodas, and they clashed, that's when Mama Hawk awoken and woke up Arthur as the one to break the last seal. Excalibur shatters the blade or something. That was the seventh seal the whole time. And we wake it up, and then the four horsemen shall ride. Some Darksider shit. That would have been better. So, yeah. Andrew says, I do wonder where Ro, Oslo, and Derriere ended up. Good question. Reincarnation is a big thing in this series, but they make it weird with the whole necropolis thing, plus purgatory, and yeah, so Nakaba did not figure that part out yet. He does not know what happens in any character's afterlife whatsoever. As for the Supreme Deity, I kind of gave up as soon as Cass showed up. Yeah. King Odin says, the reason I say Mile begets Gawain is because Gawain is known for having his power grown from the sun and the spring, known as Gawain the Green in many versions. Yeah, because Gawain is the one who fights the Green Knight. I know about that. So, and his sigil was green or whatever. So, yeah, you could go on the spring thing more so. But yeah, sure. Maybe a half angel, a half goddess. That'd be kind of cool. Dragon's Rage is like, I'm late, but yo, yeah, you're here at the tail end of the stream. But yo, man. Andrew says, yeah, if the sequel's focusing on the four horsemen knights, I guess Tristan will end up being the main character instead of Arthur. I guess, but I'd like a trio. We could follow the trio, like Naruto done right. We could have Tristan, Lancelot, and Arthur. That'd be kind of cool. Or maybe a third person, like maybe King and Deanne's kid. And we follow them around, and Arthur's their mentor. Something like that. King Owen says, Griever, remember the Crunchyroll and Netflix see the third season as the fourth season, so that is the misconception in my view. That's true. They had that 4 episodes, and they called it the second season. Possible. King Odin there, ladies and gentlemen, making a lot of sense. In all honesty, my God, my hair's greasy. Jesus. What they're saying is that rumors or that it will release potentially on Netflix in English. Yeah. Andrew said, I don't want to see the fourth season after the third. My spirit was crushed. If the fourth season was animated properly, we could still get Zeldris versus Escanor. So, then we could still get the big 6 fight. So, that would be epic. Dark Nightwing says, the Demon King was a bad joke. The Demon King was the worst joke. The worst part is that we hyped the Demon King up to be the next Aizen. We hyped up the Demon King to be Sosuke motherfucking Aizen. And he was a body snatcher. That's all he was. He was not clever. The characters were stupid. He was stupid. But nobody was clever in this thing. Nothing was clever. Light Yagami could have ended the Demon King. He would have just like figured it out. Been like, he's going to do this. He's going to do that. He's going to do this. Yeah, okay, I know a way to beat him. But you don't have any powers or a death note. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I am so much smarter than this goddamn idiot. I can figure out a way for him to give me the ruler. Like, that's how stupid the Demon King's ideas and plans were. They were so bad and so full of holes and easily fixed. Easily fixed. Demon King should have won. Demon King could have easily won, ended the series, all of Sin's dead. He could have done that multiple times. He had the opportunity. Like, so many times. And he chose not to do it. So he's just an idiot. Like, seriously. Doman and his games say maybe we can get really lucky and the old animators come back for season 4. That's, as I said, if that happens, great, and we can get the big 6 fight. We can get the 1 done right. A lot of things. Dark Knight Wing says the Demon King wasn't sick at all and lost against Meliodas in Purgatory. Demon King was sick? Or are you saying like sick? Like cool, he wasn't sick, man. Yeah, Demon King was stupid and lost against Meliodas in Purgatory. I mean, we never really found out what the hell was that original magical power? What the hell was that? How did he do that? Why didn't he use that afterwards? What happened? King Odin says, the last episode has excited me a lot, but the rest of the season is upsetting. I must say the Demon King by design and lore is one of my favorite villains in all anime, but he's lacking the godly feel. Okay. That he had in the beginning. Alright. Up until we found out he was a cookie cutter body snatcher post chapter 299, Demon King was hype as hell. I can agree with that. Demon King, the lore, the mystery, what was his ultimate goal, what is he going to do, how epic is this badass looking Viking fuck? 100% agree. After chapter 300, go check my review. Go watch the Boar's Hat on Grim Reaper's channel. I called bullshit the moment that chapter dropped. Everyone else was still hyping. I was the only one to see the truth that I know of. Right when that chapter. I'm not talking 5 chapters later. I'm not checking like, oh, chapter 310 and stuff. We're a little worried. Chapter 305. Chapter 300 dropped and I called crap. Just saying. Like, that was the turning point for Taizai. Taizai could have gone 400 or 500 chapters. I could write that shit. I've already said it multiple times. I think I have a good story. It includes the 4 horsemen. But it doesn't seem out of place. You got Demon Realm. You got Goddess Realm. You got Purgatory. Demon King was trapped in Purgatory. Supreme Goddess was actually killed. But to balance it out, Mother of Chaos, to balance it out, she had to do something. So she sealed the Demon King. Couldn't kill him outright. She's the balance. She had to seal. She wasn't strong enough to kill a god outright. Something happened to the Supreme Goddess, whatever. And she sealed away the Demon King in her own realm, where even he can't escape. 3 gods equal, but they're masters of their own realm. She had to sacrifice her form and her sentient self. She becomes Mama Hawk. She takes the vestiges of one of her children with her. Hawk leaves Wild there as the protector. Purgatory goes on. Demon King is whatever, trapped. He becomes Mama Hawk. That explains why instinctively Hawk called Mama Hawk. Because that truly was his mother. He is the son of the god of the whatever. Explains away all the Hawk's abilities and shit. Just being just out of this world. And then, when, as I said, the Holy War gets too big, once again, seals crack. You can bring up the 7 seals. You can retcon it a little bit. You can show the brokenness. But one little retcon compared to all the shit we got. Then they break. Arthur reawakens. 4 horsemen get called. You have a whole new arc. Forget Chaos. Leave Chaos out of the story completely. Chaos was stupid. Chaos was a stupid addition. Leave chaos out of it. And then you have a good story. And that could have went for 500 chapters. Like, total. Like, the whole series. Let's see. Dark Knight said, I mean, he was fit and lost against his son, and I hated that Meliodas was so strong. Yeah, and then Meliodas shows up, and he's not that strong. Like, Meliodas fought the Demon King, like, 6 times. Once he got his ass beat. Another time we don't really know. Another time he kicked his ass in the end. Then he shows up and gets his ass kicked. Then he shows up and kicks his ass. Then he kicks his ass again. Then he kicks... Like, he fought him like 7 times. Dark Knight was... Chapter 300 was a masterpiece. Chapter 300 can get down there with the tickle bug from One Punch Man and Tatsumaki. Andrew says, weirdly popular shonen anime among us seems to always struggle with the final villains. It's like an unchangeable fact at this point. Trying to think if there's a final villain that I disagree about that with. Off the top of my head, I would have to agree with that statement. Because the final villain, the actual final villain of any anime or shonen manga, always is in that last arc. And it's always tacked on. And that final villain is never a character that showed up before. It's always introduced. Bleach did it. Naruto did it. Fairy Tail did it. Like, okay, Fairy Tail kind of sort of had the like foreshadowing for that, but there was some leeway with that. We can all agree. Yeah, so I would agree with that. King Odin says, Meliodas is Goku and Ichigo syndrome times 1,000. He ruined the power scaling. Nothing was ever a challenge for him except the first fight against Hendrickson. I mean, he lost Estarossa, so I like that. So no, the power scaling wasn't broken then. And then the power scaling... Was the power scaling broken after that? In regards to Meliodas. Then he lost to the 1. So, no, his power scaling was... Actually, Meliodas' power scaling was not that bad. Meliodas' power scaling was kind of on point. Especially for all the hype and what... Like, even the villains and the allies. Like, every character hyped up how badass Meliodas is throughout the whole series. And he lived up to the title a lot of times. So... But he did lose. And he lost quite a bit. So, I'm gonna say he didn't suffer nearly as bad. Like, he... And honestly, Goku loses a lot too. Ichigo lost a lot. So, like, I don't see that really as a syndrome. You know? Final arc problems, yeah, but like Dragon Ball Z, final arc problems. Bleach, final arc problems. Seven Deadly Sins, final arc problems. You want to complain about the power scaling then, but Meliodas ain't the one who broke the power scaling, really. He had a little bit of problems, but the Demon King broke the power scaling. The Demon King and any discussion and dialogue revolving around the Demon King broke it. Because up until... Take away the Demon King. Who's broken? Whose power scale problems? Archangel's defeated by somebody who absorbed multiple commandments. The one being able to take on the epitome of power, being able to take on pretty much anybody. That was established from the get-go. Some people didn't want to take it literally. I always did, and if you don't, that's an interpretation. Merlin was a little broken, of course, but that's Merlin. Yeah. Don't see a problem. None of Bond's fights were power scale problem, except for the Demon King. None of Escanor's fights had a problem till the Demon King. And the Meliodas fights had a problem till the Demon King. Demon King is the problem with power scaling. Because I can't remember a fight in the series that happened that I thought had a power scaling issue that didn't involve the Demon King. If you guys can tell me one, we can discuss it. But I don't think... I'm struggling to think of a fight that didn't involve the Demon King that had an issue. I really am. Dragon's Rage said, I wanted to Supreme Goddess arc before the end of the series, but oh well, yeah, a lot of people did, and I just didn't see it coming. Dark Knight said, final villain in Bleach was so good. I didn't mind Yuha Bach, and I'm so happy for Bleach coming back. You guys go check out that video. I'm sure you all have. But I'm so happy Bleach is back. Bleach coming back is basically like Inuyasha final arc happening, or final act. That shit wasn't supposed to happen. Serenity the movie, following Firefly, was not supposed to happen. But we got it, because this series is too good to end that like that. So, yeah, like, you know, I didn't mind you, Albach. It was just the ending of the series that kind of took it for a loop. King Oda says, Meliodas losing to Demon King makes you think the Supreme Deity did all the heavy lifting 3,000 years ago. Facts. Andrew said, Meliodas at least lost to all the Ten Commandments. Yep. And struggled against Hendrickson. And lost to the Demon King. And before, back in the 3,000 year time skip. And didn't he struggle against... And he lost to Escanor. So Meliodas has L's. Dark Knight said, Meliodas was so strong that I hated him. I hated him post-Demon King fight. And Andrew said, and the one once. Yeah, so he lost 3 times that we are clearly aware of. There might be a 4th. But he lost to the Demon King 3,000 years ago. He lost to the one Escanor. And he lost to... I mean, technically, actually 4 times. He lost to Galand. Before, you know, he got his power back. Still lost without Gother and Merlin and bullshittery. Meliodas would have lost. So Meliodas L there. And then against the Ten Commandments the 2nd time. So Meliodas lost like 5 times in the series. Dragon said, I liked the chapter. I did too. King Odin says, the loss to Esterosa was only because of the commandments. And the loss to the one was because apparently he held back since he crushed the one countless times in the flashback. Once again, I'm going to go on the limb that the Escanor in the flashback was like Escanor got far stronger. Like the one we saw in the flashback versus the one that we saw when he had his mustache was far stronger. Every character in this series, even the minuscule, even like Hauser and Griever and stuff, have increased their strength in the... I don't know, how long did this series take? 6 months? This whole series took place in 6 months? Whatever. Something like that, right? So, Escanor, from the time Meliodas and, it's been over 10 years. Over 10 years. Escanor got stronger. And remember, he hated his power. It was a curse, couldn't control it. Now he can control it. Now he owns it. Now he's a prideful, I own this power. I'm the best. And he knew he could take Meliodas on. So, I don't think... He lost Meliodas countless times and he knew it, but he knew he could take on Meliodas. So, because he had fought that form before. So, I am still under the impression that no, that Zell just tries to call bullshit. But I take it that Escanor actually, because Meliodas did 1,000 divine slashes and it did shit. And then Escanor went, divine sword, Escanor. And that owned his ass. Was he paying 100% attention? Probably not. But, even if he was, what do you tell me? Like, are you honestly telling me that Meliodas would have not but an itch to Divine Sword Escanor if he was ready for it? I don't buy it. So, and he lost Esterosa. Still an L, man. Still an L. And it was power scaled correctly. And him losing to the one, to my mind, was power scaled correctly. Once again, interpretation. But Dark Knight says, true when I saw Escanor stopping the Demon King with his own arm against Meliodas, Bond, and King. Don't forget about Bond with his new weapon. Yeah, the whole Bond with his new weapon shit. Merlin, plot device, level 1,000, over 9,000. Just, oh man, did I hate that. I hated that so much. And yeah, but once again, that was the Demon King. And was also, that was Mile. Mile is what put it into our brains that Escanor couldn't fisticuffs against the Demon King. Because Mile refused to go up against the Demon King. Because he's a coward. That's the reason. Mile could have done the same thing. Probably to greater success. Because I think we can all agree, as much as I love Escanor, Mile would be stronger in the one form than Escanor in the one form. I don't think anybody's ever debated that. So, in that scenario, Mile could do it. He wasn't confident that he could win. He was a Darkshine level bitch. So he backed out. Oh, it's not a guaranteed victory. Oh, I don't want to fight. Even though I'm supposed to be the strongest Archangel with the best grace, and a human shows me up as the best character in current manga. And I'm like, that was Mile. Mile was treated so poorly by Nakaba in that way by giving that dialogue. That dialogue is what made people believe that this is bullshit. It wasn't bullshit. The Demon King was bullshit, and Miles' dialogue was bullshit. Escanor wasn't. Escanor was like, you ain't nothing to me. You know? Let's see. Andrew saying, I'm trying my best to think of a final villain that was properly set up and had a decent final fight. Toriko to an extent, a little bit. And as I said, Fairy Tail had a long time foreshadowing about Acnologia. I won't say it was set up well or the final fight was good, but at least foreshadowed as a villain. And Toriko, Neo and the whole rushed, but not too bad. You know? And she says, Yuha wasn't bad. I just wasn't a fan of how he lost. Yeah, no, that was crap. Wilson says, I hope that happens to Hitman Reborn, if you know what that is. Yes, I know about Hitman Reborn. I tried to watch it a couple times. Did not really get into it. Still trying to read the manga. So I usually go to the manga. If I can't get into the anime, I try to go back to the manga, because usually manga skips a lot of the stuff that I'm just like, okay, I'm a little bit bored. Let's get to the plot. Let's get to the good moments. You know, if I feel that way, usually manga is much more faster paced. Dark Knight says, so if we think logically, Bon and Meliodas were stronger than Escanor. See, a lot of people say that. Bon was not stronger than Escanor. I don't care how long an immortal human trains, you are not stronger than the one. I don't care. I just do not care. Bon in purgatory for 6,000 years. So what? He's still a human. He's just immortal. He's got magic power. Yes. So he's superhuman. Yes. Escanor has a divine grace from a god. From a god. You could argue that the sacred tree is also technically a god from the same being. And and I still call crap, or bullshit, but that sacred tree element, okay, the fountain of youth, blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't increase your power. Gives you immortality. That's it. You can't level it up. There's no indication that you can level that shit up. So, that's the extent. He's just a human who can't die. And he's a superhuman. Fine. He's a superhuman in the same way that Hauser and Guilt Thunder are superhumans. Bond's just way more badass. And then 6,000 years to train. Fantastic. Escanor, still stronger. You know, that's just the way I'm saying it. Wilson says Escanor without the mustache in the one looked way cooler. I can see it. I was still waiting for the ponytail Escanor to show up with wings. Keisha Prime is here. Hey, Keisha, what's up, dude? Go check out his channel, ladies and gentlemen. How did I miss this by 2 hours? Sorry, bro. Oh, no problem, man. No problem at all. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't expect this stream to do that well anyways, as I told everybody. The fact that we have 7 people here consistently, it seems, is actually insane. It's actually pretty good. And the stream's been going on for over 2 hours. So, I was going to do a thing. If we had, if Chubb and Greek and Keishan were here and stuff, we'd jump into my Discord and we'd talk about Taizai as a whole. I'm doing it right now, reading all your comments and going off on tangents. But, yeah. For the For the most part, yeah, I don't think we're going to do that. Unless everybody who's in the Discord has who's watching has a microphone. So give me I don't know, I don't do emojis, but give me a thumbs up. If we get more than 3 people that want a thumbs up, and I'll try to add the Discord thing, and we can get three or four, like 4. Let's do that. If I can get at least 3 people plus me, so 4 people that want to do a Discord thing, in the next 5 minutes or so, then we can have a chat here live streamed. I won't have any graphics set up for that, but I'll make sure the audio is heard. We'll set it up and we can discuss for the next while. I knew that this stream would take a long time. I knew 7 Deadly Sins ending was going to be basically my day. So. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go join my Discord link in the box down below. What you guys doing? So, I really got to pee. So, yeah. We're going to try to quickly go through some of these before I get too far behind. King Odin says, yeah, but apparently from their last confrontation, Meliodas could have stepped in to stop the one ultimate like nothing, but how you just up and blitz the Demon King and he was going to fight Escanor to the... I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot to say about that. Look, once again, that's Demon King power scaling, really, not Escanor Meliodas. Escanor did say, I will forcibly remove you. Sort of or something to that line. Well, Meliodas said, you'll have to go through me, and Escanor was like, he wasn't hesitating because he didn't want to fight him. He just didn't want to fight him. He's his friend. He was like, no, this is my job to do, But, so there is that, right? There is that. I mean, but that's interpretation and stuff. Some people... I'm not saying... Meliodas was probably stronger than Escanor at the time of the final battle. But, I'm saying previously, he was not. That's all I'm saying. He was and he wasn't. Escanor and Meliodas kind of shifted who was the strongest for a while. Dark Knight says, Merlin, over limit me... No, what? Nakama, no, I was laughing so hard. Yeah, pretty much. Wilson says, I'm mad we didn't see the power of Miles' grace. Yeah, I'm pissed we didn't see Mile in the one form. We should have. Andrew said, I think Nakama just didn't want to use Mile because he went from one-shotting the Sinner to sitting on the sidelines. That's another thing. Sinner was a better goddamn villain. Set up properly. Lucifer, the Archangel, the tragic, thrown from grace character. We had depth with him. I don't know anybody who didn't like Chandler and Cusack. We had an option here. Sinner was a way better villain. Why do people need to go to that god level? Stop with the Uhabak. Stop with the Kaguya. Stop with the Demon Kings and Supreme Goddesses and shit. Stop it. Stop going god level because that makes no sense. It breaks power scaling in Shonen. Stop doing it. Give us fallen angels. Give us high-ranking demons. Don't give us gods. Stop giving us gods. It sounds cool in theory. It's never executed right. And just it doesn't make much sense. Yeah. King Odin says, distraction by the Demon King. Trust me, I love Escanor, but every time a new threat showed up, Meliodas got stronger. I mean, he did, but sometimes he lost before he got stronger, right? Dragon Judge said the anime has a chance to fix Bleach's Rush ending. Yes, that's what Teching, myself, King of Lightning. There were some other people that were checking that. James Hansen. A lot of people are hoping for that. They're like, please fix the ending. King Odin said Mile broke the power scaling too. So did Ludashell. Mile broke the power scaling. How did Ludashell break it? I'm curious. King Odin said Yu Yu Hakusho had a great setup for the final villain. Yeah, pretty good. Andrew said, oh yeah, since you was a badass. Yeah, absolutely. And I totally forgot about him. Yep. Dark Knight says, I can't, but I would like to hear you guys. Yeah, so I'm going to go take a leak again, and I'll remember to unmute myself this time. So I'm going to go do that, and then we'll jump back here, and I'll see what's happening in Discord, and if anybody's going to join, great. If not, then we'll tidy up the live stream and we'll end it. I expected a... See, that's what I'm saying. I either expected very little or I expected a lot. I didn't really expect this middle of the pack, but I am happy we got middle of the pack. I'm happy it's not one of the 2 expectations, right? So that's fine. I know 7 Deadly Sins was on everybody's shit list for the longest time, so this just makes sense. It really does. But I'm glad everyone who's here turned out. You know, King Odin, Andrew, Dark Knight, Wilson, Dominus Games, Dragon's Rage. Keishan showed up late, but he's here. I apologize if I'm forgetting anybody. So, but yeah. So we'll do that. Keep posting your questions. We'll go on for a little bit longer. Mute. Where's the mute button? There it is. Unmute. Do not go into a crazy story again without, that we don't give a shit about your mother on a radio. For those of you just joined, that's going to sound really weird. Let's see what we got here. Damon and his games too said, so if this new chapter takes place 10 years in the future, would Bond be 50? Since he lost his immortality, wouldn't he be 51? I thought he was 41 years old. He might have been 40. But yeah. Actually, no. He'd be older. He'd be like 52 or something because it was 18 months after the final battle before we saw them pregnant and about to give birth. So it would have been 2 years. Now we're 10 years. So it's actually 12 years into the future since the final battle. King Odin says, I've been trying to join your Discord, but it never lets me. That's strange. I don't think I've had a problem with that. People should comment if they try to join my Discord and they got a problem. But thanks. Keisha Prime says, in the 50 range, yes. Yeah, he'd be probably 52, 53. There's a Discord link. Try this link, King Odin. So there you go. Keishan being a great mod. Saying, yeah, here you go. So, Doman in his games, because if I'm understanding correctly, then he was 40 when he got the immortality. Then he gave it to Elaine, so he would be around 50. Yeah, I think he was 41, to be fair, but if he was 40, let's just go off on the line that he's 40. If he was 40, he'd be about 52, roughly. Or just shy of being 52. So, yeah. We're going to check Discord really quick here. Let's close that final chapter. We might be having a live stream once again because Grim Reaper said he may or may not be doing a Boar's Hat podcast. The last one, of course. The very last one. So he may or may not be doing that. If he does not, I've already been in talks with Sundown Rider, and who's another, he's my boy. He's definitely in that. So he wants to definitely do it. He wants to do that, and if nothing else, he also definitely wants to be a part of a live discussion, a podcast of all of us YouTubers that follow Taizai. So potentially we'll have, I'm sure Keishan Prime would love to join. So if Grim does not feel like joining, or if he doesn't want to do the Boar's Hat or whatever, we will probably do something like that on my channel. I can't say a time. Maybe this month, maybe in early April, once we can coordinate our schedules and the like. But we'll have definitely Keishan and Sundown on there, myself, and we'll see. I'll put some feelers out to some other people who follow Taizai and see any other YouTubers that would like to join that discussion. That would be maybe Naya would like to join. Maybe I'll message Naya D. Hemmings and see if he feels up to that. Catching up to the final chapter, that kind of stuff. Can't think of anybody else offhand that YouTube like to join. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So, yeah. And potentially we can even do something like even after we do that, because I would like to keep that as Taizai YouTubers only, that one discussion. There's nothing to say that we can't do a just an open chat like I had planned to do if this was bigger and we had more people in here. We could do an open chat, semi-informal podcast with anybody. Anybody who wants to just talk in, join the Discord. We can have as many people as we want. And we can just talk for 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever, and I'll upload it. I'll put it live on YouTube. We can do that. So, yeah. Doman in his games, too, say, because if I'm understanding correctly, then when he was 40, when he got the immortality, then he gave it to Elaine, so he would be around 50. Yeah, that's true. Oh, my dad's calling. That's nice, but I'll have to answer that soon. Then he gave it to Elaine, so he would be around 50. Yeah, he would be around 50. Wilson, so I guess because Bon went to Purgatory, he has an expanded lifespan. See, when he went to Purgatory, he was still immortal. So, he started, a lot of people like to take the line that he gave up his immortality to save Elaine and bring her back to life, so he started aging from the time he was 40 again, naturally. Whether he lives for 200 years is up to debate. Doman says, all I'm saying is, he looks good for 52. Yeah, but Elizabeth looks good for 3,000. King Owen said, work like a charm. Perfect. Andrew said, one more Boar's Hat podcast. Nice. Yeah, we're hoping for it. We're hoping. Grim was talking about potentially doing one, or maybe doing one by himself, like a live reaction for himself, and then maybe he'd call us all of us on. I imagine I'd be a part of it. I might not be. Not going to say that Graham wants me back on one of those. But assuming, yeah, and it depends on the time and stuff, of course. Because these things are hard to coordinate, ladies and gentlemen. Some people might think they're easy. They're not. Not everybody lives from West East Coast America, I'm in far east Canada. Sundown's in the UK. Keishan's somewhere in the middle of the United States. Grim's in Florida somewhere. And, I don't even know where Zarsel's from. So, Naya's in Toronto. I know that. King Odin says, I've wanted to live discuss with you, Griever, for a while. Yeah, I mean, we will definitely get on that, man. Now that you've joined the Discord and stuff. We don't chat too often in my Discord, honestly. I would say probably a couple of times a month. But if you catch us at a good time, I'm not saying they'll always be about 7 deadly sins or anything, but always just feel free to steer the conversation that way and such, I do have a lot of other obligations, so I'm not in the chat as much as I would like to be and keeping the Discord going. But now that you're in there, now that you're a part of it, you'll clearly see, I check my Discord daily, so if I see 2 or 3 people in a chat room and stuff, I try my best. If I'm not at work or something, I try to join at least for half an hour, to see what's popping, see what's going on. But definitely, as I already said, we could probably do, like, I want to keep the 7 Deadly Sins content still rolling. There's character discussions too. There's full arc discussions. There's what ifs. There's top this, worst that. There's so many things to do, right? So one of them could definitely just be an open discussion. If we can get, like, but I would like to have quite a few people in here, right? Like, I'd like to have a Discord chat of no less than, like, 6 people, 5 or 6 people. And not necessarily YouTubers, just anybody who's willing to talk. That's a problem. Grim has this problem in his Discord. There's 20 people in there and 2 people talking. That doesn't count. We're going to do this on stream. We're going to do this live. We're going to do this YouTube. I need 5 or 6 people that want to talk. You know. So, definitely, we'll keep you in mind, King Odin. Bond gained immortality when he was 22. He was 41 or 44 in the current time. So now physically he is 30-something. That's right. All right. So physically he'd be about in his 30s. That makes more sense. Yeah. Wilson said, I might catch up to One Punch Man to watch your live streams. Is it worth it? Chat, let him know if it's worth it. All right. Put it to you this way, Wilson. If you think One Punch Man is the greatest thing, and it's better than One Piece and Bleach and Dragon Ball Z all wrapped up in one package, my streams will not be for you. I'm critical. I'm biased against a lot of the characters in One Punch Man, and I think that One Punch Man owes a lot to Murata's art style to become so popular. Good marketing and good art. So, if you can take all those opinions and know it going in, I think my live reactions are kind of fun. Also, Garo the Goat. It's the Garo Show. It's not called One Punch Man. It's called the Garo Show. Just in case you were clear. I don't know what is wrong with the internet. The internet's broken, Wilson. They call it One Punch Man. So they mistranslated from Japanese. It's supposed to be the Garo Show, not One Punch Man. But, you know. So, just keep that in mind. Dark Knight said, Griever, I think Cusack didn't deserve to die. He didn't kill anybody, and the Demon King killed him. I was mad about it. Yeah, that was kind of bullshit. Cusack being able to kill Chandler made sense. Them splitting made no sense. Crisis should have killed them, actually. And, man, one-shotting them shouldn't. There's a lot to be wondering. King Odin says, then I will invite you to collab with me on my podcast on my other channel. Been quite a while since I last made a video. Oh, absolutely. Just now that you're in my Discord, you can just send me a direct message through Discord. Because I don't check Twitter too often. So that's how Naya and I got our wires crossed when I've joined a few of his podcasts. So definitely message me on my Discord, and I will be sure to check it, and we can probably set up a time when I'm available or something like that. You know, and I would be happy to be a guest on your podcast. It'd be a lot of fun. Keisha Prime said, if it's a Garo chapter, you will enjoy the streams. Keisha knows me. Keisha knows what makes a Griever One Punch Man chapter. Dark Knight said, Griever, you should review Black Clover and Dragon Ball Super. Thought about Dragon Ball Super. Thought about it. Still on the fence. I actually like Dragon Ball Super. I wonder why I don't. But I think the problem with me reviewing Dragon Ball Super is all I would do is nostalgia pandering. I won't see past the faults. I know I can't be critical because I'm just like, oh, it's Vegeta. Fuck it. You know, like that would be my stance would be, well, we're seeing Super Saiyan 5. Like, I don't care if it makes sense. It's Super Saiyan 5. My childhood is eating this shit up. So, my problem with Dragon Ball Super is that outside of new characters doing bullshit, I tend to give all of the main cast, like here's your mulligan, here's a mulligan, here's a mulligan, here's a mulligan, for anything that might be plot-wise bullshit, you know? I'm not as critical. So I've been worried about that. I like to think I'm not as critical as I'm making myself out to be, that I'm not like wearing nostalgia colored glasses through all of Dragon Ball Super, because I'm not. But I feel like I would just give it too much credit in a review. I don't know. Black Clover, though, I actually really like Black Clover, and Black Clover happening right now. Yeah, Yami has showed up. That miserable bastard from the Dark Triad showing up like 40%. Oh, that's not enough. 60%. Okay, I'm making the hottest woman in the Black Bulls. I'm making you my woman, and oh, you can do something special too. I'm making you my woman as well. And Asta, you went crazy demon mode that we never saw before. Bitch slap. Let's do this. And Yami's like, whoosh. What the hell do you think you're doing, bitch? I'm like, because this dude was after. The whole reason he went there. He's like, where is Yami? Like, I love in a manga when they recognize who's the badass. When they're like, you might, like, here's the top guild. Here's the Magic Emperor. Here's this, here's that. No. Where's Kisuke? Like, in Bleach, if they go, where the hell is Urahara? That's who I'm concerned about. That's who I need to know about. Where's Kenpachi Zaraki? I need to know where that motherfucker is. That's who is the one to take down. You know, that attitude, I love it. So I love what's happening in Black Clover right now. When even the plot, even the new villains in the arc are not stupid. They don't go, oh, well, you rank your characters 1 to 10. So clearly number 1 is the strongest. No. They did their research. They know that the dude in the number 8 is the strongest goddamn dude. You know, they're like, that dude's important. That dude's strong as shit. That's the dude we're going after. You know, I love that. Andrew said, I enjoy One Punch Man action art in first season, but it's an okay story-wise and okay, only care about a handful of characters. I can count all the characters I care about on one hand. Garo, done. I love that I can laugh at myself. But yeah, you have Garo, Metal Bat, Nyan, Dragon Fan. And that's it. There you go. 4 characters. Yeah, and the story's not that great. Garo's character story is great. That's the only great thing about the story. King Odin says, I don't know how to operate Twitter. Well, then there you go. Discord is it for you. Wilson said, oh, wow, I thought that's the thing you would like about One Punch Man the most, the characters. No. The character designs are cool. And there's a mixed match of so many characters. So that's definitely good. But similar to My Hero Academia, I care about all of like one person from Class 1A. So yeah, you got 20 characters, all unique. I give a shit about one. Like, I feel like that's the same thing with the S class. Give a shit about one. You know? Andrew said, would you end up reviewing the Dragon Ball Super anime or manga? Probably the manga, to be honest, because the anime changed shit a lot, from what I understand, and I don't know. I tell you what, if I ever decide to do it, I'll post a vote. All of you make sure to join my Discord, because I will tag everyone in a vote if I ever want to review Dragon Ball. If I feel like I need something new to add to my channel, I will start reviewing Dragon Ball Super, and I will post a poll, and the first one to hit 10 will get manga or anime will be the vote. And the first one to hit 10 votes on manga, it'll be manga. If it's anime, it'll be anime. King Owen says, well, I think you should review Netflix Castlevania series. You know what's sad? I have 2 videos recorded from when season 1 happened. I'm serious. They are old. They're recorded. Never put in an editor. Never published. They're there. I have short hair and a beard. They're there. I reviewed the first 2 episodes of the first season because I thought the Castlevania series was fucking A. But I didn't review it. So now I'd have to actually watch season 2 because season 1 came out and I was so hyped for season 2. Then I got super busy and I never watched season 2. And now season 3 is out. I really need to watch it. And so I would probably have to do a I'd probably have to review season 1, review season 2, and then start reviewing season 3. Like, I would make 2 videos. Like, I'd review season 1, and I'd review season 2, 2 big videos, and then I would review season 3 episode to episode. I wouldn't mind doing that. Keach Prime, if I can do reactions for Dragon Ball Super Bowl bitching about when it's warranted, then you should be a fellow fanboy isn't an issue. I mean, yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I'm just hesitating. King Owen says maybe even review something retro. Okay, I had a crazy thought. But the amount of work it would be for me to do would be crazy. But I thought about reviewing. And you know what the sad thing is? I shouldn't say it. I know my fan base is only like less than 300 people. But I really shouldn't say this, but I'm going to fuck it. I'm going to say it anyway. I thought Bleach is coming in 2021. The anime is coming back. I always wanted to review Bleach. Bleach is one of my favorite manga of all time. I will review every single episode of the anime. All 300. Isn't it poetic? It's like 365 episodes. I have 1 year. 1 video a day. Alongside all the other content. But 1 short video a day to just quickly go over, here's what I like, here's what I didn't like. They'd have to be only 10-minute videos. They'd be anywhere from 5 to 12 minutes. That would be it. They'd be very short reviews. But to review every episode of Bleach leading up to the release of the new season. And then review the new season, because I totally intend to do that. So that was my whole let's review something retro thing. That was my idea. I had this thought last night, and I went, do I have time to have a wife? Like, do I really even have time to eat or have a wife? Like, it's closer to 9 o'clock at night, and I haven't eaten a goddamn thing since 12:30. So, yeah, so YouTube takes up a lot of effort. It really does. It takes up a lot of time. And to add that to my stock would be so stupid. But I kind of want to do it. Like, I feel like I could knock off, like, I could watch 10 episodes, like, just settle down in 1 week and be like, all right, Saturday is Bleach Day. And I would watch, like, 10 episodes and review all 10 episodes, edit all the videos. Like, I wouldn't have to do it every day, but I'd have to, like, dedicate a day per week to Bleach every day. Not that sounds like a bad thing, but I don't know. I feel like I would get really behind doing that. So I wouldn't want to promise that they'd be out every day, And I wouldn't want to get behind on them. I got behind waiting once a week for a Dr. Stone episode, for fuck's sake. So, I don't know. Andrew says, I'm all for Black Clover reviews, to be honest. I have done a couple. They are on my channel. I did review 2 or 3 in the summer. I might start doing that. I might. They would be late, though. Like, because One Piece is Sunday, and I tried to only post 1 video a day, the Bleach idea beside. So, Monday would be the Black Clover review. They would be late. Dragon says, Griever, what about King? King's cool, but how much do I care about him? I'm talking about characters, it's like Bang and Bomb. I like them. Nothing wrong with Fubuki. Good tits and stuff. And, but, do I really care about the character? Care about them. Stinger. I like Stinger. But do I care about him? That's the thing. Dark Knight. So, Griever, what series will you review in the future? I'm waiting for Burn the Witch, to be honest. I'm waiting for Kubo to come back. I don't know. Nothing's really piquing my interest yet. Probably, I'm leaning towards Black Clover over anything. But I'm hoping that I do more discussion videos and stuff, and that'll keep me busy for now. Yeah. I have some gaming reviews to do. I want my gaming content to be not as popular, but I want to up the gaming reviews a little bit because I love gaming and I want to talk about them. So I don't know. I really don't know. I still have, even with 7 Deadly Sins over, I still have One Piece, which doesn't do very well. But I have my I have Valkyrie, which is only slowly taking off, and I don't see Valkyrie ending anytime soon. I have Yona, and Yona does very well. I know a lot of you cats don't watch or read Yona, but Yona does very well, and I still do live react to One Punch Man. So there's quite a bit of content still there. You know, it's not like I'm losing. It's not like I was teching and I only had Bleach, right? Dark Knight said Griever reviewing Dragon Ball Super would be great. Okay, thank you. King Odin says season 3 finished on Netflix and it was great. I really do need to catch it. Yeah, like season 1 was so goddamn good and I'm so hyped. I am so behind on all my series. Like I've been meaning, like I don't know if you guys know the show, but it's called Elite. It's a Spanish show. That season dropped. I've only been able to watch one episode of it since it came out. I haven't watched any of the Castlevania. What's the other one? Shit. One Day at a Time. See, I watch some Spanish shows with my wife, of course. Shit. There's a couple more for me personally. Clone Wars. I have Disney Plus for free. I barely managed to finish The Mandalorian, and I'm trying to catch up on Clone Wars. Like, there's just too much to do, guys. Like, between YouTube and work and my basement and, like, having an actual life outside of all that, like, it's almost impossible. Keisha Prime, all seasons of Castlevania were grand. Yeah, they really were. They really were. Like, from what I saw. I know they're so good. I really gotta watch them. I really do. Like, I meant to review Lucifer Season 4. I meant to review Suits Season 7 and 8. And I meant to review Castlevania when it first came out. There's 3 series I never made that I intended to. This is how far behind I get. And sometimes, honestly, guys, I lose motivation. I really do. Because I promise to do all this stuff. I do half of them, like the Dr. Stone reviews. I promise to do those, and I do them. And people say, yeah, we'd like to see your Dr. Stone episode review. And I'm like, it's new, it's fresh. Like, because sometimes you're like, oh, well, I'm, like, if I review Castlevania Season 1, and I only get, like, 20 views, that's expected. Season 1 is old news. Season 3 is new news, right? But when I review an episode of something, and I make sure, gotta watch the episode. It's Thursday. Forget anything else planned. Gotta watch that episode. Gotta get that review out. It's a time-sensitive thing, and you only get 6 views, and that happens over and over and over. You start to slack, and then you lose motivation. So I was making a lot of content. I think it was around November. Half of my videos combined weren't getting 100 views. You know, like I'd have 1 week a span, and it would be, okay, I produced 5 videos in 1 week, and one video, like our 7 Deadly interview, be a few hundred views, and I could count the number of views. You could combine them all and be less than 50, you know, of the other 4. And it's kind of like, well, then why am I burning myself out with all this, you know? So you lose motivation for doing series that don't do well after a while, right? But I'm a completionist, and I don't want to fail. I don't want to stop, but you start to, like, the time schedule clearly doesn't matter, you know? I got the same amount of views, honestly. The last episode review of Dr. Stone got the same amount of views as the first episode review. The first episode review was out that day. The last episode review is 3 months late. So, you know, like, that just goes to show you, like, not saying it's anybody's fault, it's just that when I'm, like, you lose motivation if you start a series. Like, right now I'm saying, I'm hearing Dragon Ball, I'm hearing Castlevania, I'm hearing Black Clover, but if I start to do those and I make it a point to make sure those get out on time and I don't see the view count, meanwhile alongside all of my other content that gets views, and I have to worry about that as alongside of it, then it, like, I don't know, it's just becomes a stressor. Because you never know what's going to hit with YouTube. And that's not anybody's fault. It's not my fault. It's not your guys' fault. Not anybody's fault. But you never know what's going to hit. You know, so... Dark Knight says, you will get lots of views for reviewing Bleach. I would like to. I love Bleach, man. I missed the fact, I guess if you guys didn't watch the Bleach video, that's what I wanted to start with. I actually still have the folders saved of manga chapters, panels saved back when you were allowed to show panels, because I was intending to start with Bleach. Like that's how long I've been trying to do this. So yeah. Wilson said, even the filler, because I assume the filler characters and the filler stuff might still be relevant in the next coming seasons. Like those stupid Mod Soul characters who I hate. King Odin says, become the second coming of Tekking. The second coming of Tekking. You know, Tekking was always my inspiration. He really was. I've talked to him a few times. I mean, he doesn't know any of this. He doesn't know I have a channel or anything, really. But I entered a couple of contests. I actually got some honorable mentions in his contests. So I've entered some contests. And I've spoken to him a couple times on Twitter about cooking and shit. So Tekking's a great guy, Matt Crawford. You know, and he was the one who basically said, look, there is no formula, and I love that. There's so many videos that say, here's how to get popular on YouTube. And yeah, am I doing everything possible to get the views? No. Because I have a day job. This isn't a moneymaker for me. This is a passion of mine. And sometimes you guys know, watching my videos, I'm not passionate because it felt like a chore that month, not like a passion. But like a video like this, I'm here. I'm passionate, right? So I do this for a passion. If it takes off, like it did for Tekking, wonderful. I will make this. I will make this better. I will improve on this. I will spend extra time on this. You know, if it doesn't take off, then it was just fun. It was just a lot of fun. Didn't have to make me money. As long as it doesn't bring me grief or bills, you know, then I would say it was a great experience. And I've met some great people through here. I've met Sundown Rider, Grim Reaper, Nia D. Hemmings, Keishan Prime, Fang Streitzer, Zarsel, Chubb, Greek, a lot of the people in my... And everybody in this chat right now, Dragon's Rage, Dark Knight, King Odin. I've met Andrew. I've met a lot of people just doing YouTube videos. So, some closer than others, but either way, I would never regret doing this, regardless whether I ever even hit 500 subscribers or not. Dragon's Rage said, I would comment on every one of those Bleach videos. See, I knew I shouldn't have said anything. I really do want to do it, but I don't know. My sleep schedule's been screwed. All right. Time to give up the beer and go to coffee. Dark Knight said, you could review the Clone Wars. I wanted to do that too. See, that's the problem. There's so much I want to do, but there's so little time during a day. It really is. I basically have to say to my wife, look, keep working on your dissertation. We're not going to talk for 2 weeks. You know? Like, I would have to tell her that, you know? Or I just couldn't take breaks. I need to be one of those people who gets up at 6 a.m. and doesn't stop moving until 10, sleeps for 6 hours, and gets back up and does it all over again. I would have to be one of those people. And I'm just not. I like my lazy time. Like, I can be honest with you. I say that I'm so busy, but honestly, it's because I'm exhausted, and I want to, like, lay down, read manga. Like, I've been rereading One Piece. I like to sit down, play Final Fantasy VIII, and read manga in between shit, you know? Like, I want to watch Nux Taku videos. I want to watch Rant Cafe podcast. I want to, I want my me time, too, right? And that me time usually is about 4 hours. So, like, I make it sound like it's the end of the world. But, yeah. So, yeah, I could probably do all this if I push myself. I probably should. I should probably push myself. That's how I would get bigger on YouTube. If I actually, buckled down and said, you know what? Do it. You are passionate. You love Castlevania. You love Star Wars. You love Bleach. Do it. So I really just got to pump myself up. It's like working out. I haven't worked out in like 8 months. And I have barely a 2-pack anymore when I had a 6-pack and a nice V-line. So I can admit that. So it sucks. So there's a lot of things I need to change this year. Andrew said, I'm extremely behind on Castlevania and a bunch of manga like Haikyuu, Dr. Stone, and Berserk. I don't read Berserk. I don't read Haikyuu, but I do read Dr. Stone, and I was behind for a long time too. I'm behind on Castlevania as well. Dark Knight says, damn, I didn't know Lucifer was so popular. I saw Lucifer 2 years ago on TV when I was bored. I was watching Lucifer from day goddamn one. Lucifer is one of the best goddamn shows I've ever seen. Suits and Lucifer are epic. Love those shows. Keisha Prime says, Castlevania could be a good seasonal project for our October 10th episodes in 31 days. Keishan, why do you give me those ideas? You should be doing that shit, man, but I'm totally stealing it. I am totally stealing that Halloween idea. I'm going to do all the episodes. The month of October is going to be Castlevania month. Yes, that takes some stress off me. Guys, keep reminding me when it comes close. Keisha and I know will, but you guys, join my Discord. Remind me in September that I have to start doing this. I got a review, because I did actually a 7 Deadly Sins discussion on the 7 Deadly Sins for 7 days leading up to Halloween. I like that whole leading up to Christmas, leading up to Halloween, the month of this. I love doing that shit, but I get so behind on it. But I actually did complete 7 Deadly Sins character discussions for Halloween 2017, 2016. Those videos are no longer with us because they were on my old channel, but I still have them if you guys be interested. I don't know. I could probably pull up the thumbnail for them. I'll post them in the Discord. How's that? I'll post the thumbnails in the Discord. I'm totally going to do that now that Keishan said that. That's what I'm going to do for my month of October. There's my video content set. Done. Wilson said, do you read Attack on Titan? You could do those to get views. A lot of people do that to get views. Attack on Titan. I know some of Keishan Prime's most popular, and definitely go check out his reviews, most popular videos are Attack on Titan views. And I just don't really like Attack on Titan that much. To be fair, not caught up, haven't read the whole thing, watched like half the anime, season 1. It was like, okay, the animation's good, but I don't give a shit about these characters. I don't give a shit about this story. But I haven't given it a chance. A true chance. I should read the manga. If I got caught up with the manga, then I could give you my honest opinion. Dark Knight says, I think Dragon Ball and Black Clover would get views. I would like to think that Black Clover and Dragon Ball would get views. I'm leaning more towards Black Clover. Jesus, sorry guys. I'm leaning more towards Black Clover, honestly. Right now it's in the hype season of it, so it's that time for all those, YouTubers low on views to come out of the woodwork, but I guess I'm one of those YouTubers to come out of the woodwork, so I might start doing that now that 7 Deadly Sins is over. I still got to review the rest of Season 3, and I'll probably review the spinoff whenever that's supposed to come. Andrew said, that's understandable since so many series are already being reviewed. Yeah, oversaturation is a big problem on YouTube. Dragon says, I miss Kubo's art and fights, especially the fights. I do too. I think, it's not about art quality. Kubo's art, to me, is better than One Punch Man. It's not about the art actually being better. Clearly, Murata is a better artist by a, unbiased standard. But, personally, I would prefer, if the One Punch Man characters were drawn Kubo's art style, they would look cooler to me. I just like Kubo's art style. I said that in the last, live stream, One Punch Man. King Odin says, hell, you're right about that. Castlevania is a great October theme and so bingeable. I watched Season 3 in 2 days. Well, then there we go. We should totally do that. I will post a video. I'll make sure, in September, I'll make sure to check all the videos, right? And how many episodes there are, and I'll post one leading up to Halloween, and Halloween will be the last episode, or October 30th will be the last episode, and episode 31 will be or on October 31st I will do a review of the series as a whole, what I think, a live stream. That's what I'll do. October 31st we'll do a live stream for Halloween. I can't promise that actually because I do own this house and I have to check kids. And it'll be my wife's first Halloween here, and she loves Halloween. Yeah, I cannot promise that at all, but we'll see. King Odin says, I like the idea of a weekly Taizai discussion, top 10s, worst and best 10 power, fan theories, etc. Yeah. See, once again, right now, everything is screwed up in the world, right? I don't even know what days I'm going to work or not, right? I have a basement reno that really needs to get done. I'm very worried about my financial situation right now, as I said at the beginning of the stream. So it's hard for me to dedicate or promise anything at this juncture. However, that being said, as I have said multiple times, if it comes to the point where we are isolated or I cannot leave my house, if martial law happens and stuff and I'm stuck here, you guys will get a shit ton of content. You will get a buttload of content, so don't worry about that. I will be doing Tai-Zai content. I can promise you. When it comes out, I can't promise. A schedule, can't promise. But I will be trying my best to get more schedule-based. I always try to produce a video every 2 days, even if it's a re-upload of a Let's Play, even if it's an episode review of something that nobody cares about, whatever. I always try to get a gaming review, whatever. I always try to make sure there are at least 4 videos per week on this channel. So be patient with me, ladies and gentlemen, because you have to understand that when I do theory videos and stuff, the editing process is much longer than regular videos. If I talk for 30 minutes, I got to edit 30 minutes. So automatically there's at least over an hour. Easy. Then I have to find the right images and do the animations for what I'm saying and things, because I like quality videos. I like videos that show images and stuff. I like videos that bring some fun. You know, anytime I try to do a little skit thing for a review, you guys, might think that's, oh, well, it only took 5 minutes because you guys only see 5 minutes of it. But that little thing that I did sometimes takes 20, 30 minutes, right? So it's a bit of a hard thing. And I don't mean to make this all about me stream. Well, it is a Griever stream, so whatever. Look, that's me being praise the sun over there. Let's see. Andrew, I do like that you are true to yourself, Griever, because people do use nothing but clickbait in order to get big on YouTube. Yeah, I'm not up with that. No, like, I'm not gonna lie. I sometimes try to time it right. Like, I tried to do trailer reactions and movie reviews and stuff. Like, when the Broly movie came out, I made sure to go see it and try to review it in a timely fashion. I always try to, like, with same with manga reviews, they need to be timely. Nobody cares about chapter 321 of One Piece today. Like, if you're rereading it, fine, but do you guys care about my thoughts about chapter 321? I don't even know what happened. What arc was that, right? So, and most people's thoughts would be that. So, there is a certain time frame for certain videos, So, I always try to do that, but I never try to do clickbait. I never try. If I have, you guys think I've done clickbait before, I apologize. Sometimes I do the red circle thing for a theory thing to kind of catch your eye. But I am talking about the content in the thumbnail. I never do clickbait. Dark Knight says, now you give me motivation to watch Lucifer. Good. Lucifer's fantastic. Tom Ellis is amazing. Andrew said, might stop being lazy and join the Discord and use my Twitter more. Definitely join that Discord, man, so that we can have proper discussions. If your mic is crappy, as long as it's not cackling and robot-y to an annoying point, we can always have a discussion on YouTube and stuff. Like, as King Odin was pointing out, I'm happy to make those type of videos. Maybe that'll be the big thing that'll hit me off, that I'm the YouTuber that talks to everyone. The podcast that speaks to everybody. All you got to do is join my Discord and hit the voice chat. Maybe that'll be my shtick. Maybe I'm the guy who, I don't care if you're a Patreon. I don't care if you're a YouTuber. I don't have a Patreon. I don't care if you're a subscriber. You join that Discord, you are eligible to join a chat live streamed on YouTube anytime. Maybe that'll be my shtick, because I don't care. As long as you're not there to, I would clearly have some, since I'm not monetized, it wouldn't matter about the swearing, but there are certain words that would have to be toned down, and we're not going to have anybody insulting each other, but, you can argue with each other, but I hate when arguments get out of hand, when people start calling people clowns and start talking over each other and stuff. No, not going to have that in this streams. So, Darkwing says, do you like My Hero Academia? It's meh. It's alright. 6 out of 10. It's fine. Andrew said, while I am not a big My Hero Academia guy, reviewing the anime or manga would probably get views as well. Exactly, but that's my point. Tekken tried the same thing, and he was like, I just wasn't feeling it. He did discussion videos, but he tried to review it day to day, and he wasn't feeling it. I reviewed about 6 chapters of My Hero Academia back in the hype moments of My Hero Academia, following Endeavor and Hawks and the Villain Association. That's when I was reviewing it, and it was really good. But once again, it almost felt clickbaity to me because I'm like, am I just reviewing this because people will click it? And I've kind of felt that way because there are multiple chapters of My Hero Academia like in a row that I'm like, I just do not care. I don't care what's happening. Like, I'm just like, okay, let's move on. What's happening to characters I care about? So it's kind of like One Punch Man for me. Let's move on. Let's get to the characters I care about, because otherwise it's just like, okay, they fight. I don't care how they fight. Yeah, does it look pretty? Great, but so does the Naruto versus Sasuke fight at the, I don't know, was that at the very end of the like time skip thing or whatever? The Naruto versus Sasuke fight that was animated by the greatest person ever back in 2004 or whenever. Yeah, so that fight looks cool, but I don't give a shit because I don't like Naruto or Sasuke. So, Dark Nightwing says, don't worry, Griever, take your time. We all love your content. Thank you very much, Darkwing. Dark Knight says, I also myself want to be a mangaka. I also do. I would like to rewrite Final Fantasy VIII as a manga if I could draw well enough. I could draw better than One Punch Man and Mob Psycho. I can draw better than those stick figures that he does, or those very like disproportional drawings. My anime characters are fully developed. They are just very disproportional. Similar to that, just better than the stick figure drawings, because I do shading. So I always thought about that, but it takes me such a long time. And I do have an idea about the Kusanagi Blade, a similar sort of a Bleach meets Inuyasha sort of high school drama, little bit of a manga that I've had revolving around the Imperial Regalia of Japan. I've had that idea for a long time. Won't give away too many details. Someone will steal it. But yeah, I've had that planned out and like crossed out and redrawn and redone for years. So Susan says, do you think we will get a new Seven Deadly Sins game? I hope we get a console game, like a full 3D game, not a mobile game. I really would like that. That Cross game apparently is just a mobile game, but I would like that. Yeah, and welcome, Susan. Haven't seen you around here before. Or if I have, I apologize. I forgot. Dark Knight says, someone made a clickbait like the mother of Meliodas revealed. Yeah, see, I don't do that stuff. Like, I think the closest thing you could say to my clickbait was Escanor is the first angel? ? But that's what's in the video. ? Like, and I put Seven Deadly Sins theory video. I always title it, if it's a theory video, I always title it as a theory video. So, you know, like, I don't feel like it's clickbait. Like, even when I was like, okay, this is my theory, of course I make a grandiose title and a grandiose thumbnail, but it's never untrue. There's never anything in the thumbnail that isn't relevant in the video. King Odin said, try Sword Art Online. I still don't know how to say that word right. Alicization, whatever. I actually like Sword Art Online in Season 1. Not the fairy dance part, but the Aincrad shit. I like it. And there are some good moments in there's some good moments in fairy dance. It's just bad overall. Gun Gale Online was fine. And I didn't mind the Norse shit in the next arc. Forget what that was called. The Alicization arc does not interest me at all. I dropped off of Sword Art Online. I might one day go pick it up. But Andrew said, I would like a new Bleach game as well. Yeah, Soul Resurrection for the PS3 was amazing. I still own it. I still play it. I haven't played it in months, but I haven't played it in 2020, but I did play it in 2019. I have not platinumed that game. That game is hard to platinum. You gotta put hundreds of hours in that. Level everybody up to 100. Fuck me. And I hate games that S rank. I hate that. Like Sonic games. Sonic games are all about like, get an S rank on every mission. Fuck you. Like seriously. Like, because in this day and age, like back in GameCube era, internet was there, but not everybody, like YouTube was still kind of new. YouTube was fresh. So, at the end of the day, nobody had a video for everything, right? So, back then, and before trophies and shit, people just, like, S-rank for the sake of S-rank, just be good, right? In this day and age, it's kind of like, okay, like, I like trophies, don't get me wrong. I like trophies. I think that they should remove multiplayer trophies altogether from single-player games. Like, that's the worst sin. Add DLC trophies later, but do not make me play online. Like Far Cry 5. Why do I need to win featured maps against dudes in their mother's basement who still play this game to this day after it's been out for 3 years? I'm not that good at FPS games. I will never win a featured map in Far Cry 5. Sorry. Not legitimately. I will never win. Unless I am playing against 5-year-olds. Even then, can't guarantee it. Far Cry 5, I have every trophy except those. Like, multiplayer trophies in a single-player game are dumb. Gotta get rid of them. But, back to point, in the era of YouTube, all I would have to do to S-rank every single mission in a Sonic game, or a ranked game, is to watch somebody else get an S-rank, and then try to copy what they did. That's not impressive. That's watching someone else show you how to do it and then copying it to the best of your ability. That's not gaming. Gaming is doing the best you can do on your own. I'm not saying you can't go check a player's guide when you're stuck in a level. I'm saying that to platinum trophy a game should be something won by the gamer himself. Something like to 100%. To go above and beyond just beating a video game. Like, I can go beat any video game. That's probably pretty simple. I mean, the Souls games aside. But, like, to master a game, to platinum a game, to do everything in a game without a guide, without YouTube tutorials and walkthroughs, and here's the cheapest way to do it, trophy guide or achievement guide. Like, you know, in this day and age, they gotta take away those. Anyways. Yeah, because this all stemmed from the fact that there is rankings in the missions in Bleach Resurrection. King Owen says you should review your viewers' stories once a month if the story is not too long. My reviewers' stories. So you guys are all writers? You guys would like to write little stories? I mean, if you guys have concepts, see, I'm always worried about plagiarism. Like, that's the whole reason that I skim always on the details of my story, because if I talk to you guys like I talk to my friends and bounce ideas off, you know, sometimes we feel like I'm Tolkien and he's C.S. Lewis and we're bouncing ideas off of each other, right? Because he writes and I write. I feel like if you put that on the internet, someone might steal it and go ahead with it, and it's like, well, I said that, and try to sue and never win, and it's kind of like, I should have kept my fucking mouth shut. Like, no, seriously, like, you know what I mean? So, if you guys are comfortable with that, I could probably do something like that, but I've always been worried about that. Like, taking original ideas and just throwing them on the internet for everybody to read, see, and steal. King Owen said, I'd like a Final Fantasy Dissidia-esque game for SDS. Yep, absolutely. Dark Knight said, wow, Griever, I didn't know that you were drawing. I haven't been drawing in a long time. 2 years. About. I tried picking it up about a year ago, and my talent has dwindled significantly. I've forgotten a lot. It's not like riding a bike. Because I used a lot of shortcuts when I was a kid, so. Dark Knight, Griever, you should play the 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross on your phone or PC. It's fun. I'm sure it's fun. I'm just not into PC or Marvel or Marvel. Mobile games. The only video game on the computer I've played in the longest time is either emulated games, Dungeon Siege, or Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Those are the games I play online. That's about it. And RuneScape back in the day. Wilson said, have you watched Red Vinland Saga? You won't regret it. It's about Vikings. I've heard so much about Vinland Saga. It's on Amazon Prime, so I can't watch it. And I have, as I've already said, I have so many things that I'm already currently trying to watch that I just don't have the time to pick up another series right now. I want to, probably will, eventually. And then I'll be like, why did nobody tell me about Vinland Saga? And we all told you about Vinland Saga, you know. Dark Knight said Vinland Saga is amazing. I believe it because I've seen almost every YouTuber basically say, yeah, Vinland Saga. Watch it. Dragon's Rage says, imagine Bleach game developed by Arc System Works. That'd be amazing. Dark Knight Wing says, did you watch the Sonic movie? Yes, I actually want to make... See, this is how behind I am. I saw the Sonic movie a week and a half ago. I meant to make 2 Sonic videos. Number 1, if you guys not noticed, the Sonic trailer thoughts video, the original trailer before they edited Sonic, I made a video about that. 17 minutes long. It's 1 second on YouTube because the rendering file screwed up. I posted it to YouTube. Nobody told me anything. Still got views. It's a 1 second video. I didn't notice. I was busy. So the whole video, nobody ever saw. So the funny thing was, I was going to make, once the new trailer dropped, I was going to make a reaction because I was the one who called this the best marketing ploy I've ever seen, use of a trailer, because the whole Sonic redesign, called it in my initial reaction, and I was going to make a joke that, yeah, I'm bullshitting. But no, look, it's me, black and white. Oh, you just shaved and cut your hair, and then you grew your hair again before making this video, you know. I was going to make a thing, right? I was going to make it funny. And I, once again, got behind on other content and couldn't make it. And then I went and saw the Sonic movie, and I still mean to make a review of that. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is how far behind you get. You want to make content. Other things happen. Okay, I am literally running out of beer. This sucks. And this review has gone on. How long is this live stream? Jesus. King Odin says a Jump Force type 7 Deadly Sins game would be great too, except everything that Jump Force was supposed to be would be a great 7 Deadly Sins game. Yeah, Jump Force was not that great. Andrew says that's how I was for the new Spider-Man and God of War first games I got platinum in and was not sure at all. Exactly. You should want to do it. Like Final Fantasy VIII, I got the remastered version. I platinumed the shit out of that. I didn't check a goddamn guide. I was like, oh damn, I screwed up. I lost that card. Shit, I forget how to get the goddamn Renoa card. Then I finally remembered. Ifrit, lose the Ifrit card to Renoa's father. Like, I didn't remember how to do that. So I lost like multiple cards to multiple people. I still, like, I couldn't remember how to start the Queen of Cards side quest shit. I still don't have all those cards, I'll be honest. But the Platinum, you don't need all the cards, so it happened. But things like that, like I looked at the trophies, and I was like, and I looked at the trophy description. I knew what I had to do. I was like, okay, read all Timber Maniacs. I screwed up. Started a new game. Literally did. Started a new game. I was like, okay. Got to check for them everywhere this time. I went through that game. I must have spent 40 hours on that game. It was awesome. I love that game. King Odin says, YouTube copyright protects that plus Amazon self-publishing. Okay. I mean, that's fine. Like, it's not about me making Vinland Saga content. It's just I haven't watched it. Is that what you're referring to? I don't know. King Odin said, only PC games I play are emulators, 30K plus retro games, and DCUO. Yeah, I play, as I said, I play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic games because they're awesome. Dungeon Siege is a classic. And, yeah, emulators. So, close. Dark Knight, Jump Force was bad. Gaming is important in my opinion. Absolutely it is. Okay, guys, we went way too long on this live stream. I am so glad that you guys kept the chat going, though, for me. I love it. Thank you so much. But this live stream is well over 3 hours. I wanted it to be 3 hours, but I wanted it to be 3 hours about 7 Deadly Sins, and we're moving all over the place. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind talking about Bleach. I don't mind talking about anime, the direction of the channel, content, Black Clover, Dragon Ball, whatever. But so we'll do this another day. We'll continue these discussions and these fun facts. But guys, always join a live stream. Always remember, even like if you're not into One Punch Man and I'm doing a live stream, if you're not into Shumatsu no Valkyrie and I'm doing a live stream, don't forget, after the chapter, I check the chat. And I try my best not to forget a single message. I always read the messages. I always make sure to be here for you guys and answer all your questions to the best of my ability. So if you want to talk about Bleach after a Valkyrie chapter reaction, once the chapter's done and I've done reacting, sure, we'll talk about Bleach for 10 minutes. It's fine. So always remember, if you're a fan of one thing, if you're just a fan of me and not necessarily the content that I'm live streaming, just come in halfway through. That would be my best piece of advice. So, but anyways, guys, we are going to end the live stream here. King Odin just said I was referring to the reviewing your viewers' concept stories. Oh, well, I mean that's totally fair. That makes sense about the YouTube copyright protects and stuff. Yeah, I mean that's fair. So maybe we could do that. Maybe we should do that, right? So that's a concept we can come up with. Once again, a bunch of great ideas given to me by a bunch of people. So thank you guys so much. Thanks to Keishan for showing up once again, Mod and all that stuff. Thanks to everybody who watched. Dragon's Rage, King Odin, Wilson, Andrew, Dark Knight, Susan was in here for one comment. Who am I missing? I mentioned Wilson. I gotta scroll up a little bit. Doman and his games too. I think I already said Dark Knight was in here. I apologize if I've forgotten anybody. Baku Blade. It's been a long stream. But thank you guys so much for being here for this. This was a fun live reaction and stuff. So, yeah, I think I gotta end it. This is the end of 7 Deadly Sins as we know it, ladies and gentlemen. It was a good final chapter. There's a lot of problems with the arc, but we'll have multiple discussions. I believe there's a Boar's Hat podcast happening. If it's not, there'll be something on my channel, a similar idea. So, thanks, guys, so much for watching. This will be Griever, signing off for the final time for 7 Deadly Sins. I drank all my beer, so we'll say don't drink responsibly. Oh, there's still a little left. We'll say don't drink like I do, but drink. I'm drinking like Meliodas and Bondwood, all right? So a drink to Escanor, a drink to 7 Deadly Sins as a whole, and a drink to the series. It was a wonderful series. Overall, it was still, I'd give it at least a 7 out of 10. Give me a few months, and I'll probably rank it higher. But it was still not, it wasn't that low. This arc was trash, but the series as a whole still shines like our Lord and Savior, Lord Escanor. So, thanks guys so much for watching. We'll see you back here next time. Peace out. This has been Griever with 7 Deadly Sins, the final chapter.